Hello, and welcome. It's Monday. It's Roller Arena Monday, 12:30 p.m. on the new year. New you, is that what everybody said? All these resolutions. Give it a couple weeks. You can just drop it. You don't even have to say them. Road Check America is coming back in May. Isn't that great? We're already talking about spring. I can't believe it. The clearinghouse deadline is here. Did you sign up for it? Oh my gosh, it's tomorrow. If you're not signed in, good luck. They said it's been backed up and down and stuff like that. FMCSA clarifies yard move, and they needed to do that. They're putting out more clarity so we can understand what yard move is and what it isn't. So that's pretty good. I appreciate them doing that. Let's see here. I'm doing things over here. Don Wells, gone. Stocks and some trucking trivia and some rates too. I have some rates going on. How about that? Oh yeah, got some stuff. So what's happening out there with everybody in the new year? It's already another year. It's already partway over. I love it. Christina was first. Thank you for that. Wow, Bill first today. So there we go with that. Let's see here. And I want to welcome Fleet Nav Systems is here today. All right. George Wilson. Hello there. Misty is here. Let's see. Where am I going here? Oh, Steel Horse. Hello there. Trucker Wild TV. Morning and good afternoon. Oh, well, hello there. Red Monkey Trucking. Hey, what's going on, you guys? New year. What's happening? Trucker JP. Hello. GP Transco is here in the house. That's what people say. Good morning. First live show of 2021 with 51 more to follow, I hope. Let's see. The President, George H.W. Bush, is here. Always like to have the president in the house. John Loader. Hello. Roll the wieners. Yes. Greetings. Let's see. No name on that one. I love how you have a name without a name. J.D. Forney. Yes. So there are some in here. Hello there. Bryson Glegg. Hello. Good afternoon. Ran Bubs. That's good. That's very good. I like it. Get a kick out of some of the names. So Trucker Hershey, hello there. North Dakota, for you, 37. It's 37 here. So that's pretty good. Sunny today. Not a bad weekend, I don't think. Chris Lee just started GP Transco. All right. What's the first impressions? What do you say about that? So a number of people have gone over there and see what you think about the place. Trucker Beetle Bailey, hello there. Good to see you here. Let's see here. Kelly, oh, hello. Good morning. Adam Ingram, hello from California. Well, it's probably more than 37. I guess depends where you are, though. Chicken haulers here from Alabama, hauling chickens around. Trucker Hirsch, you were first last Wednesday. You were actually second last Wednesday. Christina slightly beat you to that one, so we'll give you that, though. Cash is King Trucking. Hey, what's going on? It's good to see you. Kevin, how do you become first? Well, when the show goes out, you got to say that you're in there. So, and it's usually Wednesday, but sometimes I forget. I'll be honest with you. Just past exit for a giant pitchfork. Where is that going on? Alexandra is here. Hello. Hail to each of you. Well, hail back to you. Yes, I hope this year is as good as last year. And that's not saying much depending on how last year went for people. You picked up avocado at 81.5 gross. No fuel. Yikes. Always pick up your load full. That's what I try to do. At least 3/4. When I was getting heavy loads, always going full. Even though the message always said, go in on 1/10 of a tank or whatever, forget that. Right? Full, fill it up, then go pick the load up. So I don't care what they say about it. Drummer to driver, hello everyone. Gregory West, what's on the agenda today? Well, we have a few things going on today, as I was saying. So, unloading sodium bisulfate. What, Columbia George, what is the end use of sodium bisulfate? Just curious about that. Because I don't know what you would use that for. Hey, give me some more sodium bisulfate. What do they use it for? Cassius King Trucking 39 in cloudy in Jersey. That's not bad. 2 degrees on me. Leo's Madness 2019 769 Volvo. What's a 769 Volvo? 370,000 miles. Water pump started leaking. Well, that's pretty good. Have to make my way to the TA in Troutdale. Be there all day. Yeah, and they won't have one. I'll have to order it. Believe me, they're probably not going to have it in stock, depending on what engine it has in it. Stuck waiting to unload in Loveland, Colorado. That's awesome. I hope they're paying you for that. Make this. Somebody said make this year the trucker. This should be the year the trucker that gets paid. Okay, make sure they pay you. Let's give away 2021 wieners to ring in the new year. That'd be pretty awesome. I need to get Oscar Mayer on that program. Or Ballpark. Trucker Hershey, going into Indy on 70 from the west side. What's going on with those huge concrete things that look like planters? Going in on 70 from the west. I don't know. I don't know where there's... I don't go in on that way. I haven't been that way for a number of months. So I don't know what those concrete things that look like planters is. I don't know what they're doing out there. So you're talking coming in from the west, from on the airport side. I don't know. Paul Harris, that's trucking. They gave us the load. That's 540-mile drive. We have 2 hours plus 5 in the recaps. That's super great. They go, look, just try to take it in there whenever you get there. Talking about Publishers Clearinghouse. Oh, nice. I'm talking about those cassette tapes, right? Order 1 cent today for 10 tapes, and then just $12 a month, and you get another tape for your perusal. Christina, hello. That's toasty. I know that it's not doing bad considering where he is. David Strankowski. Do you know the Elite Fleet channel? What do you think about it? I don't know the Elite Fleet channel, so I don't have anything to think about it, I guess. Good or not, I don't know. Should I go see it? Paul Harris. The trainer has to be on duty while I drive, so this is limiting our driving time. Well, I will say the trainer should be on duty while you're driving. That's part of training, really, to be honest with you. But they shouldn't give you a load that you can't do, really. I meant to say hi, Mark, and not to mention my trouble. It's all right. No problem. Hey. Eventually I get around to sending you some info on Poly Trucking and some pay stubs, Trucking Journeys. Hello. Good money for sure. Yeah, I know. Downside is insurance isn't the best. Well, depending on how much money you make or if you need the insurance, that could be a deal breaker or not. You know, once you get into your extreme upper 30s, it becomes more important. Believe me, then, you're just a young person lost like yourself. Kaylee Domblazer, just popping in to say, hello. That's pretty good. Hello. Alan Benedict, I've already listed with FMC. Clearinghouse, do you need to re-register? No, once you're in, you're in. If you have not registered yet, please get in there. Okay, if you're an owner-operator, by the way, and you own one truck and you're like your own company, like My Name Trucking on the door, you still have to register and then do a query on yourself. That's what they're talking about. Either way, your company's supposed to have looked up in the database by tomorrow, basically the end of the 5th, about you. So please get in there and register. If you go get another job, you have to be registered. They said it's all backed up and their people are getting bopped out of it now, so you may have to try 10 times. Get in with the FMCSA Clearinghouse while the getting is good. George H.W. Bush, exit 129 on 70, Southern Illinois. All right. Samuel Edward, good morning, Mark. Passed the GP Transco truck at a Flying Hook here in Sullivan, Missouri. What color was it? What color was it? Since it's in Missouri, it is west of me, so it's likely teal colored. So does everyone think of those? Waiting for Mark before he gets on the air and he's late. Should be paid attention time. Aviator Trucker. I try to get it out at 12:30. Okay, so usually it's very close. I appreciate that 1 or 2 minutes that people do wait. Usually there's one thing that I've forgotten. Oh, the camera's not up or whatever. Hitting it because I don't leave the camera up because I'm afraid the government will watch me or something. Trucking Journey sailing in Houston from Florida Georgia line on 75 and 10. That's not bad. And there shouldn't have any problem. Day cab gear jammer. I bet sodium bisulfate smells great. Oh, does it smell bad? Oh, I don't know. My 500-mile shuttle is only 2,700 pounds. What a joke. Well, I don't mind that. I don't mind light loads at all. I get those all the time. I would say more than half the time I'm empty. Certainly more than half of the time, but more than half the time that I head to the Natty, I'm empty. I have an empty trailer. So there you go. Alexander, freezing fog in 27. Headed to Nebraska, 80 at mile marker 84. That's horrible. Hopefully it warms up. I mean, it's sunny here. Any ideas on bookkeeping software? Who's got ideas on bookkeeping software? I don't use any. So what about all those small satellite dishes along I-80? I don't know. Are they Starlink dishes? Happy Rolling Arena Monday, everyone, and to all end users. Jim Trucker, hello there. Fleet Nav Systems, hello. It's good to see you. Pulled 8,000 to Fargo, got 9.6. Trucker Hershey, isn't that awesome? Now I bet you wish you got a fuel bonus. Or maybe if you do, I bet you're going to get your fuel bonus. A Wild Bell, who do I drive for? Well, that's good. That's pretty awesome. I never say who I drive for new people, who as I do the show every week. That keeps them out of my videos, right? And that way they don't get a say in anything. And plus, I don't recruit for them. A lot of people are recruiting for their company. I don't do it. If you like your company, you should, but I let them handle all that. So that's how we do it here. Misty, how do you do random on yourself? Well, if you own your own truck, you're a one-truck owner-operator, which many people are. They buy a truck and they have their own company and they haul. They get their own authority. The company who hires them and would do the random on themselves, where they query the clearinghouse. But that person is them, because they're running the company, and they'll have to query it for their driver, them, and put it in a file that they keep about themselves. That's true. And if you're actually talking about a random drug screen on yourself in the same situation, you have to join a consortium. That's usually how a driver does it if they own one truck. OIDA has these, and so do other groups. You can join, and then a bunch of people come together, and random names are picked out by the consortium, and that satisfies the DOT. But doing the clearinghouse on yourself, yeah, that's how it's done. You literally query about yourself and put that file in a file that you keep yourself about yourself. It's crazy. Columbia, Georgia made a municipal water treatment plant. I don't know what they use the sodium for. It says it's an oxygen scavenger. Oh, it stinks. Okay, so I didn't know that. An oxygen scavenger. I love that. Kelly's been registered for a year. Yeah, I went and registered right away because I knew it'd be a disaster and everybody would wait. Once you're in, you're done. You don't have to do anything else. So just let it go, and as long as you don't change jobs, you should never have any problems with it. Trucking Journeys takes 3 days off a week. Nice. I live near the factory, so I get through there a bunch and take a day or two off. And I've still made $68,000 in 7 months that you worked during 2020. I mean, you're rolling in dough. What can we say? That's pretty good money, by the way. Christina, teal. Look, I've never seen a teal one. I don't understand. The company is everywhere. They do, I don't know, I think GP Transco does approximately 75 million miles a day in America. Don't quote me on that. But most of the trucks are teal. Most of them are teal, and I haven't seen one. And I look at them. Samuel, it was teal. Right, exactly, because it's west of me. They refuse to send teal trucks anywhere near me or anywhere east of me. I just don't get it. Cap Gear Jammer. I don't believe you have to re-register for the clearinghouse if you switch jobs. I believe the company needs to query you. That's correct. You don't re-register, but when you change jobs, you have to be registered because they have to do a full query on you. So that's why I'm saying for job change, it's important to be in there anyway. But now your company has to look it up. They do a limited query, as it says, once a year, every 12 months. So they should have already done that. If not, they're going to do it tomorrow. And so you have to be in there. And if you haven't done it on yourself and you own your own truck, you'll have to get in there. Well, Bell's schedule changed. That's good. You finally got it changed. Cash is King Trucking. Sodium bisulfate is used to lower the pH. Oh, it is also used in metal finishing, cleaning products, and to lower the pH of water for effective chlorination in swimming pools. Oh, nice. Oh, so that's that stuff that you put in that little floaty thing that floats around on the top of the pool? That's what my friend had growing up. He had a pool, and there's like a thing. His parents would fill it up and throw it out there, and it would just float around the pool. I don't know. Trucking Journeys. I'm absolutely sure that if I push it hard, I can get 6 figures. Nice. Plus free gas for personal cars. Free gas for personal cars. So they fill your car up? Loving it. Private freight and paid on odometer. That is amazing that you do get hub miles. It's got to be one of the last places that does that. I like hauling 25,000 pounds. Not too heavy, but heavy enough for good traction. Luke, yeah. In the winter, an empty trailer is a bummer. Let's put it that way. Sugar Shine. Hello there. Sugar Shine. When you haul a flatbed and you deliver on Friday after 2 p.m., you're usually not getting anything till Monday. First type of freight waiting to next to reefer. Yeah, sometimes you know almost everybody. You're getting this late Friday delivery like, well, that's it for my weekend. Hi, but there's no name on that one. I love it. Out of curiosity, do you prefer dry van or reefer? Long distance, I'll take reefer freight all day long because that's where I get the most miles. And the road always got longer miles with refrigerated freight. So I like it on the road. I like it. The only downside, I guess, the worst part I found, besides the hours, you have these weird hour deliveries, was trying to fill it up because there's never room to pull up and get the reefer filled up. So other than that, right, that was probably the biggest problem of it. Farva took 12,000 pounds from Key West to Vancouver. Wow. Holy moly. Are those new skinless wieners considered circumcised to meter trucker? Possibly. Rabbi Shlomo would say they are. Cash is King Trucking talked about the painted old Dish Network satellites on I-80. They got about 30. Really, I haven't seen any on, I haven't seen these ones on 70. I have 3 trucks. They're building truck number 4 starting today. Doing it all myself. Pretty proud. That's pretty awesome. I will say that. Building truck 4. I mean, literally starting an empire. GP 75 million. It's 65 million miles a week. Oh, okay. I had the days, weeks confused. When you have to sit and unload that gigantic plane, you don't get as many miles, right? That's pretty good. 65 million miles a week is really incredible, to be honest with you. I've seen some GP Transco Volvos. There's a white Volvo that's around here. He must live here or something. I guess it's an owner-operator. And I see it all the time near Indianapolis. So that's probably the one I see the most often. I've always wanted to drive a Volvo. They're pretty nice. Trucking Journeys. Yeah, I think this is an owner-operator. It's a white Volvo. So I see it a lot cruising around the Indy area. Haven't seen this guy truck upload a video. This guy trucks upload a video in a month. I wonder what's up, Luke. I don't know. Send him an email and tell him to upload a video. Chicken hauler. I registered last January, but I don't think Tyson has said anything about it to the drivers. About getting registered. They should have. I mean, they should have. I mean, you have till tomorrow. Why haven't they told the drivers to get registered? They're the ones. Tyson, who's feeding you like family, has to query all the drivers by tomorrow. A limited query. So they should have been on it. Maybe they didn't say anything to you because you're registered. Maybe they only told the drivers that are not registered, hey, get this going. They're like, oh, they checked and they go, all right, well, Chicken Hauler's registered, so we don't have to say anything. Maybe. There's a GP Transco truck sitting in at the Atlanta at the Petro. John Oakley. What color is it? Al Johns, Happy New Year. Any plans to buy Volvos again at GP Transco? I wonder if they're going to switch over and get a bunch of Kenworths. That's what I wonder. Al John's got a pool. Wow. We have a duck that holds the chlorine brick or whatever there. Yeah. This looked like a, I don't know, big hockey puck. It just floated around in there. But yeah, that's what that stuff is then. Kind of. The teal trucks are working in the cover of darkness. Well, that's not true. I work at night. And to get a safe haven on Monday from 12:30 to 3:30. Yeah, they're parked right now. Not at the moment, at least not in 2021. Will you buy much more Kenworths? What do you think now that you've had them for a while? Do you think those are doing better? Day-cab gear jammer. Alexandra, I hope you don't have any trolls like Cassius King did last night. Were there trolls in Cassius King? I was on my way back. We went to Rockport, Indiana over the weekend. Rockport to look at a house. What happened to this guy? Trucks heard he got caught cheating on his wife and dating several women. Sweet. Jim Drucker, I don't know. Don't know, no idea. Keeping out of, if there's any drama, I'm out, believe me. The duck is a choice. That's a pretty good idea. I don't know why my friend's parents didn't put a duck in there. Let's see here. I like the duck. I wish it was blue. Hey, paint that thing. Did you hear about the chemical that came out of the closet? He conceded he was bisodium. Ugh. Yikes. Paint by the odometer is great. I know. They don't dictate my route, and I don't feel cheated if I have to take a detour. Well, I will say, look, most companies that I've been at or seen will adjust your pay if you tell them that you had a detour, including where I am now. For the like we have teams and stuff too, and they can say, look, this was closed, or we had hazmat and had to go around Indianapolis, that kind of thing, and to make sure that you get paid at least practical miles on the proper route. So if you're at a company and you have to take a detour, ask them. Say, hey, look, I had to go around. How about, the extra miles of this detour? It's usually not a lot of money, though. It's like, what if it's 10 miles? I mean, that's potentially $2.70, depending where you work. So, right? How's the Moderna vaccine being transported at 90 below zero? They're in big containers that are full of dry ice, that are in a reefer, I guess, that's running at full blast. But the containers are full of dry ice. Trucking Journeys, when I started working here, I was apprehensive about dealing directly with brokers. Yeah, that does seem unusual. But I found brokers more helpful than a company dispatcher. So they have some good brokers. So it worked out better. This guy Trucks mostly does lives. He doesn't post if the content goes sideways. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Which truck do you think it's better, Kenworth or Freightliner? Look, I really like my Freightliner. The Kenworth, I don't think it's as big inside, maybe. The cab, at least. I don't know. I don't mind the Cascadias. I don't. I think they're set up good. They're not made great. I mean, they're kind of cheap. And like I said, if I had to buy a truck, I'd buy a Western Star if it was up to me. But, I don't mind the Cascadias, really. They're easy to get fixed because they're all over the place. You know, wherever you go, there's parts for it and stuff like that. So you don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. Oh, right. What? The cat even thinks that Western Star's better. That's how I would do it. I don't mind a Cascadia at all. Haven't had a Kenworth in a while. Because fleets don't like to buy them. Because they cost a little more. Self-dispatch is a really good idea coupled with open fuel cards. I love an open fuel card. Seriously improves efficiency and driver turnover. I know. Companies don't realize that, do they? We know where it's best to fuel. Right. If companies would just work out a deal with the major chains and say fuel at any of these major chains that you want, whenever you want, I mean, that would solve a huge problem. How much more do companies save, really, by saying you must fuel only at this pilot and get 47 gallons, which I've seen? Is there that much savings in that? I mean, is fuel that big of a problem when rates are, close to $3 right now? I mean, holy mackerel. Kenworth is definitely the best truck out there. All right. I heard this guy trucks quit YouTube because the Elite Fleet guy. I don't know. Cash is king. I guess somebody's got all this info and I have nothing. The actual miles are automatically calculated in our truck, so it's paid by default. Yeah, right. That's what I assume. Companies calculate it, boom, and it's paid. Exactly. But I have found most companies, and I don't know about GP Transco, but if you say, look, because of this, the road was closed or whatever, they're usually pretty accommodating, especially if you've been there and, you're not trying to scam them every time. They're like, all right, we'll give you 10 more miles or whatever it is on there. It's usually not a problem with places. So if you're at a place and the miles are calculating, you have to take this big detour, call them up and say, hey, I had to go a detour. Here's my route. So can you recalculate the route? And generally they do it. It's Mr. Plow. What's going on? Where do you work to get odometer mileage? Right. I wouldn't buy a Kenworth. Freight Shaker or Volvos are a favorite. That 2016 T680 was garbage, but I only drove that one. Same color on the website here, or whatever the color is. Super. Yeah, that's as far as brokers go. They're more willing to move an appointment if they can get there early. They're more than happy to accommodate me. Well, that's pretty good. Maybe companies don't do it because they don't have anything else for you. Maybe they're less likely to move it because they're like, well, if we move them up early, he's going to sit there anyways. So maybe. Still doing 2-hour lives without taking a drink, working on it. Oh yeah, Lone Star Transport. Whereas the company dispatcher has to go through all these different channels and generally is apprehensive about changing appointments, so there's way less downtime. Right, because the more people you get involved in it, the worse everything gets. Jub, you work at Dot Foods. All right. The people got to eat. People always got to eat. Penelope, that's the cat's name. I couldn't think of it. I'm going to send new pics. She looks like a lion. Oh, that'd be great. I'll watch my eyes. I don't blink either, right? That's when I go to a cat picture to blink. Alexandra, what's your opinion, Nifty? Do you think it'll go up in the next 4 years? You mean like it will disappear in the next 4 years? Think it'll go up, or do you think it'll go up in price? My daily vehicle's in the shop today, allowing me to be here. Oh, the Corvette. Stupid alternator belt broke because the alternator locked up. Of course, it is 44 years old. Yeah, well, you're going to expect that with an old Corvette, I guess. Useful info for new drivers. Never ever take anybody's word that there's not a loader or forklift in the back of your trailer for pulling out. You have to check. George Wilson, exactly. You should walk back there and just see what's going on when you get that green light. And go, oh, let's see if anybody's back here I'm going to kill or whatever. Certainly. Much Mark size he doesn't blink, right? Let's see, where did I go off to? If you haul a hazmat placard at 1820 foot, your truck is empty and you are an aggressive driver, does that make you a rebel without a caustic? Wow. Honestly, I prefer Kenworth over Peterbilt. Oh, no thanks on the Pete's. Even if I drive a Pete now, I'd rather drive a Kenworth. The Pete's, it's certainly the needle-nosed ones, right, or whatever. When you can crank the window over here, that's not a great truck, I don't think. I want some room in there. Give me some room. Oh, it's Mr. Plow. Thank you very much. Cash King says tip roast. Believe me, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Where is the terminal for GP Transco in California? That's a good question. Thought we were mostly east of the Rockies. No, don't they? They have a place in California. So sure, we'll get that city. Also make sure the plate is off the back of the truck. Yeah, you can just stick your head or look underneath there and say, okay, everything's closed up. We're all set. Trying to join the ATA. I heard they pay well. Cash King. They pay their CEO well. You should try to get that job. That job pays pretty good. Almost $30,000 a week, $27,000 a week. Not bad. I'll apply to the ATA too. I need to work on my golf game. You know, I was looking at going to their meeting. They have a meeting coming up in Vegas, and I thought, oh, I'll just buy a ticket to the meeting. The ticket's like $700. I'm like, holy mackerel, that's crazy. To make a point based on made of stuff. All right, I don't know anything about any of that. Ralph is here. Good afternoon. Alexandra. The IFTA tax go up. Oh, yeah, certainly. Every year, surprisingly, they don't every day if they could. Yeah, they'll always creep it up. Always. But the rates go up, but then the tax goes up. Absolutely. Cheapy Transco. Trucking companies sometimes have a contract with fuel company for pretty good discounts, so they can save a lot by fueling at specific stops. We have contracts with various fuel companies so our drivers can fuel everywhere, but companies sometimes have an agreement with only one company. I could understand that, GP Transco, but what I've seen, and I don't know if this is different because I don't know that side of it, some companies, not many, but some will say, not only do you have to stop at a pilot, you have to stop at this pilot. This one, and they tell them how many gallons, 47 gallons. So I can understand if they have a discount only at Pilot Flying J now. But they'll say you have to stop at a certain pilot, at this one only, and that's what really always surprises me. How about a book and say stop at any pilot or something like that? Hazmat jokes. Bring back the Marmon truck, aviator trucker. Yes, we want 22,000-pound cabs. Holy mackerel. Be a guest speaker at the meeting, then you get in free. I will tell you, Trucker Hershey asked them to speak at their meeting in Florida, which went on just before all the closures, and they turned me down. I said I would even bring myself down there free. They'll get me an hour to speak to their group, and they weren't interested. Cheapy Transco, day cab, gear jam, we have freight going everywhere, and we have regional routes in the Midwest. Everything else is over the road. Yep, you get in it, and you're in the truck. See the country? A new spotter trucks have more room inside. The older ones were so small to get out just to change my wine. You getting new spotters? Are they a new brand too? And are they air conditioned? Aviator trucker, I get the cheapest from the country. I load 7,600 gallons of diesel and just sign for it. That's nice. Then you pull up your Volkswagen TDI next to it and fill that up. Probably not though. It's possible that companies that specify specific fuel stops hire less experienced drivers, therefore have to micromanage them. Oh, that's absolutely true. That's who's doing it. Right. I didn't want to say it, but yeah, that's who does it. Absolutely. Kevin. Oh, thank you for that. I will appreciate that and get that going right away. They do micromanage, but I think that kind of micromanagement is almost a disaster. I mean, how about just a suggestion of fuel stops? Here's where some good stops might be on the way, and say, if you're hiring a driver with no experience that you have to micromanage, have the trainer, that part of their job would be to explain how to fuel the truck, properly. And then, because stopping at one place, I've seen long lines, and I'm like, why you guys stopped here? Oh, well, we have to stop here. Oh, well, that's ridiculous. It doesn't save the company any money, although I guess they don't pay the driver to sit there. Oh, it's the most cramped and crowded pilot. Right, that's why nobody else goes there. Where'd the $3.99 come from? I don't know. You put it in there. No AC in spotters. That's a luxury. I've seen some spotters that have air. I'm just wondering if you got air in yours, and especially if they're new. Trucking Journeys, they give us a book, and it has stops listed by state where we're allowed to get fuel, but our fuel card's open in case we run out. Not near a stop as long as we send a message. Yeah, so that's perfect. And here's a book. Here's all the places you decide where to fuel. That's much better. Or fuel at any loves. That's better yet. Or fuel anywhere. That's the best. Trucker Hershey checks fuel prices. I bet I have the lowest operating cost in the fleet, but they don't track it that way yet. Hey, they might. They might. Tell those people to kiss me. Who's kissing me, Christina? Kiss me. I don't know who that is. The newer pilots have decent parking. Some of them do, but as we know, some of them are crammed. And if there's 3 trucks waiting or 2, I see this at the Loves all the time here at the 133 in Indiana when I'm going by there on I-65. There'll be 2 trucks waiting and then all the lanes are full. Well, I'd rather go somewhere else. I think that would be great. Just the tip and hail Satan. Thank you, Alexandra. I appreciate that very much. Well, Bill, it depends on the specific company because I've seen spotter trucks that have air conditioning on the roof. I've seen them with air. Yeah. Some of the spots are wider, right. But the one by Mr. Fuel down there in Indy, horrible. Right. Some are terrible. They all use the same fuel stop, so don't sit in the fuel line and park in a spot if you're going to be a wall. Well, that's true. If drivers would do that, that would help too. Once you got all these trucks, and you're sitting there, and then you see the guy come out 20 minutes later with 10 sacks of hamburgers or whatever. If there's a line, you cannot sit there. I think you got to go park and then walk back in. Jason stops anywhere that takes com data. I'm with you. I'll stop wherever they take com data. And if there's a line, I leave. If I could see the place and there's a line, I just keep going. I bet everybody could save a ton of money no matter where they fuel if they use the Mudflap app. Oh, that's true. Day Cab Gear Jammer, that's right. I think that's for owner-operators. Let's see what Cassius King thinks about that, though. Would that be Mudflap app work for owner-operators? Spotter trucks definitely have air. My company doesn't think we deserve it. So it's kind of like Waste Management when I see their ads. Their ads say no air conditioning. Some trucks may have a small fan. That's in the ad. At least they're honest about it. You may be exposed to sights. I forget exactly how they say it now. Unpleasant sights and smells. Which I love that ad. Trucking journeys. Not all the major companies do that. Werner, when I worked there, had a list of stops in their app that overlaid on Google Maps so you could see where all the close stops were to you. That's better. That's a better way to do it. Look, if they're going to hire inexperienced people, just have the trainer. That could be part of training. Fueling. Imagine that. Those guys who won't let you talk on their show. Oh, Christina. Yeah, that was the ATA meeting in Florida. And I thought, you know what? I'll come down and I'll even pay my way down and back. Okay, and won't even ask for a speaking fee. All they got to do is give me an hour to talk to everybody. And they were like, no. And so that ended that pretty quick. And then I thought I'd buy a ticket, but then the ticket and just attend, but no way. Ticket's super expensive. Philip Trucker, at my old company, a driver got off at the designated Petro in Deming, New Mexico at night to fuel and hit a black cow. A black cow? Why is there a cow walking around? Don't they have those things on the cow catcher things on the street so the cow can't get out? That's crazy. Buy some cat treats, George Costanza. I will, thank you. Let's see. She's not out here today. Here's to hoping that 2021 is better than 2020. Every year is better than the last year. Any day you wake up is going to be a great day. How could it be worse? Time for a cat break. And Blue Parrot, of course. Well, always, if you wear it, you should make it a parrot, as always. Right, and my bell's covered up. There we go. Always, you should make it a parrot. Let's see who I have down here. Is this for... Oh, Bridgie, right. She hasn't been up there. There's Bridget. I remember Bridgie. And let's see. I think I'm back up there. And there's this up there. Right. Oh, Kevin, goodness. I won't round off. Happy New Year. Well, thank you very much. Goodness, I appreciate that. Yikes, thank you. I do appreciate it very much, by the way. All Aviator Trucker, all fuel prices every station are not the same. It may be at the pump, but each station may get their inventory at different negotiated rack prices. Some vary as much as 3 cents on wholesale. FCC does that. Jeremy, yeah, I mean the company, and when you pull up there, the company may pay a way different rate that it says on the pump. I agree with that. But I think to keep the truck moving, to keep the driver happy and all that, open the card up to major truck stops. Get a deal with these major stops. Open the card up and let people fill up wherever is more efficient. Driver's not going to want to sit in a long line either. So the truck's just going to keep moving because the driver's going to want to keep rolling. So I think it works out better for everybody. Last year, I safely hauled 2.6 million gallons of petroleum products. Aviator Trucker, do they tell you that or something there? That's pretty good. Wild Bill, unpleasant smells. That is true. My company stinks. That's what Waste Management ads say. Go find one. It's hilarious. Spotter trucks go slow and need air. Over-the-road trucks don't need air. Roll the windows down. Yeah, it gets warm in there. Rocky Trucking, hello. What's going on? Are you guys doing good still out there? And when are you going to put out your next song? Oh, on trucks, I like Kenworth W900L, but I'm a Mac fanatic. George Wilson, I like a W900L, but I probably wouldn't buy one. I think Western Star, you have a little bit more uniqueness. You don't see very many of them on the road and stuff. I think that's way better. Be a little more unique. Fast Joe Corrigan comes in with abolish abortion now statement. All right. That's his statement on that. And thank you for that. Appreciate it. Tell them to stop driving in the farmers' fields. Yeah, keep it out of there. They have cow signs there on the frontage road like deer signs. But don't they have those things? I've seen them on the ground that have those bars, and that's so cows can't walk across them. Alexander, I forgot to send a picture of that spider. Yes. Send it now. Send it today. Because it's something. The new Discovery Plus app is awesome. Red Monkey Trucking. My wife wants to get it. She keeps saying she's going to get it. Likely she will get it. I'll tell you. Do you have the one without commercials? I think that's probably the way to go, right? Misty Hershey of your Swifty, they train you to drive through a farm fields. Oh, right. Been a while since I've been on a live show. They kept me busy here, Trucking Journeys. I noticed that. But, hey, you're making $78,000 in less than a year. That's pretty good. I mean, that's good money. Red Monkey Trucking, you're doing great. That's awesome. How's the Kenworth, too? I know you're one of the few Kenworths there. What do you think about that? Better than a Freightliner or same? What do you think about that? Through the fields of Schneider. Oh, you were getting... That's a Schneider driver. How so good smiles, Texas Trader. That's Schneider routing right there. Yes, that would... that's certainly for another channel. I think that, you have Red Monkey Trucking. You have one of the few Kenworths over there. So I'm wondering, now that you've had the thing, you've got guys that probably put 100,000 miles on it or more. Certainly you've had it for a while. Is that better or not better than what it was before? CVSA Road Check goes on May 4th to 6th this year. Isn't that great? By the way, the FMCSA updated yard move. And so this will be interesting for everybody. They're clarifying what a yard is. What a yard is and what it isn't. And they actually said in there, this is not a complete list of what a yard is and not a complete list of what it isn't. They updated it to say that the motor carrier's place of business can now be considered a yard. An intermodal yard is a yard. A shipper's private lot is a yard, which makes it interesting that if it's not the shipper's lot, but they rent a space, and the building that has maybe 10 companies in it, is that a yard? So that's interesting that they wrote it like that. Shipper's private lot. I wrote that down exactly. That makes for an interesting conversation on what a yard actually is. And on these places, you can log yard move. Yeah. If you weren't driving a truck, what would you be doing? I'd probably be the guy with that sign that you see in the corner that says, hey, we'll work, I'm ready to wash your windows. So, I don't know. I was like being a speaker, which I do some of that too. And that's probably what I would do. I enjoyed that. Was prevented from it for a while, but by myself. But that's what I like doing, and that's probably what I would do for a living. I'm probably psychologically unemployable in a regular job because I just wouldn't mesh well with bosses and stuff like that. I just wouldn't do it. So certainly at my extreme upper 30s, I wouldn't be able to tolerate working at a job where I have a boss over the top of me. I'm surprised they tolerate me my job as it is. Last year, I safely hauled 306 million gallons of petroleum products. Aviator Trucker. That's incredible. What kind of petroleum products? Like finished products, like gasoline, precursor products, as I call them, like crude oil. Truck Stop Lot Lizard should advertise unpleasant sights and smells. Lone Star. Where's Cassius King Trucking to talk about that? We have to cross those cattle crossing. That's what it is, right? Things at some of the farms we go to, Chicken All, I've seen grown cows jump over them. If they ever figured out you can't stop it. Oh, so now we have smart cows. That can do it. A yard is 3 feet. Good. That's good. They should have come out and said that too. They defined what is not a yard. A public road. All right. Which I don't know if people are logging yard move. And people must be, because they also said a rest area is not a yard. So people must be logging that. They wanted to clarify some of the definitions of what a yard is and what a yard is not. A rest area, it turns out, it's not a yard. Imagine that. I cannot understand what possible reason any company could give for BS paying short household goods miles during journeys. Well, what they say at Schneider's, that's how the software works, and, that's just the standard of the industry. If you call them and ask them, well, that's the industry standard. Yeah, in 1974. They use Steel Horse. House of Goods Miles. Schneider uses air miles. Look at the loads, Wisconsin and Michigan. They go straight across. They go, look, you can get across that way. I want to confirm that intermodal yard is a yard. That is true. So you get to log yard move on your long driving days. Yes, I use yard move doing drop and hook, sometimes opposite sides of the building, Trucker Hershey. Well, the first definition of yard move, it wasn't really clear that every yard was a yard. Like if there was a shipper that didn't have the yard blocked off from the public, that yard wasn't really a yard because there was a clarification in there that needed. And so they said, a shipper's private lot is a yard. So you can use yard move for it. I know people use it all the time. I'm not really a fan of it because it's just a way to get you to work for nothing. But they did say that you can log that now. The shipper's lot, your motor carrier's place of business is a yard now. And that wasn't always the case either. I got fuel at the same place for the last 18 years. You imagine how many points you would have there. We get smart if you eat a smart cow, Trucker Hershey. I assume the cow has like Android or an Apple cow. That's what I'm thinking, that kind of smart cow. All cattle, I've yet to meet a smart one. I don't know. They're really curious. I'm not, I've lived in the city but most of my life, like all my life. But whenever I see cows, they seem to be really curious. Lot lizards need to go to jail and get the death penalty, Christina. That's pretty rough. That's pretty rough. The death penalty. I don't know about the death penalty for that. It's almost a victimless crime. I mean, as long as everybody's 18. Yikes. I think the death penalty, I don't know if people would go along with that. Chef Matt is here. Good morning, Mark, family, and community. Normally, Mark constantly loses his place. Today, it's my turn. Yes, don't worry. That will certainly happen. Beef, it's what's for dinner. Right. Claude Atkins did that. Alexander, banning abortions against your beliefs. Well, right. Well, we'll keep that out of here, though. A truck stop is not a yard. Luke, yeah, they didn't actually say that because I don't know if drivers are logging truck stops as yards. Truck stop is not a yard. Rest area. They had to clarify, though. I love that. I wrote that down. That a rest area is not a yard. So how much driving are people doing in rest areas? Are they driving across the rest area and logging that as yard move or something? It's not a yard. A rest area is not a yard. It's public. I've noticed a lot of places have signs about masks but don't enforce it. What's the point of the sign? Trucking Journeys. That's correct. I did note, like I said, Meyer, I wasn't able to get in there yesterday, but Meyer has a mask enforcement personnel at the door. But most places, they don't really enforce it. So you can wear it or not, I guess, since they're not enforcing it. I still do, even though I had it earlier. But I still wear one all the time anyway, with a cat on it, of course. And let's see. Van 246, flats 246, refrigerated 268. Still higher than the others as usual. That's the rates for this week. That just came out for December. Let's put it that way. We're just out hot off the press, really. As I was going to broadcast, as they say. Is a truck stop a yard since a trailer is occasionally swapped within the yard? Chef Matt, not really. Truck stops are open to the public. That was always the definition is the public allowed in there? Or is the public prevented entry through a fence or a guard? Well, the public can park at a truck stop. You see RVs in there. So they not only allow it, but encourage the public to come in, purchase things, park, whatever. So in my opinion, no. Do people probably use it as a yard? Yes. Would something ever happen about it? Probably not. It's not a victimless crime. They're talking about banning. That won't ever happen here. Shaking the tree. Brett. Hey, Brett, what's going on? Oh, right. And for that, we can go right here to this one. Skittles. Yikes. How is Skittles doing? More trophies? Probably. Or soon, anyways. Where did that go? Okay, I get that back up there. I could see people doing a yard move in those big 300-spot rest areas. Oh, because they're swapping trailers. Yard move is going in a yard and move going out. Might save 10 minutes. Oh, maybe those big ones on 70 out there in Indiana, that'd be a good idea, right? And somebody comes in, you have to swap trailers, and they put all that on yard. All right. I didn't think about that, but yeah, all right. Well, the DOT has come out and said, FMCSA, to make some clarifications. It's just clarifications. They're not changing the law. They actually said rest area is not yard move. So I guess if you're in a rest area and you put yard move down, you kind of do it at your own risk now, because I don't know. Now they're saying no. So if they actually do, and you have an ELD, and then they put down yard move and they did an audit and looked at the exact location, they'll be like, no, you have a violation. So that's a problem. The welcome sign is not always what it appears. Oh, signs everywhere are signs, right? Kenneth, good afternoon. Mark and Gracie, enjoying a day off. I thought I would stop in. All right, nice to have a day off. We had just 4 days off, so get to go back to work today, but was off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Next day off, Memorial Day. Yikes, it's so far away. It's like, holy mackerel. I had to work 5 days a week to Memorial Day? Ugh. Trucking Journeys, I saw this Freightliner take off along those Pete's good earlier hood, right, earlier today. The driver was in the door on his phone and freaked out. I bet. Was he in a legal parking spot? Not that it matters. He shouldn't do that, but. A Dunkin' Donuts parking lot is a yard. Nice. Nice, Alexander. Yeah, I like that one. Yeah, Misty would come unglued too. I agree, right? Come on. And you're like, why? I'm just parked here and you're going to run into me? Misty does trail swaps all the time at the truck stop. Do you log that as yard move, or it doesn't matter? Maybe where you are, you're not close on hours. I think the only people pushing it are probably close on hours. Like I never even thought about doing yard move. I'm not even close. Usually I'll log 7.5 hours a day total. Well, we were speaking about rest areas a month ago. An RV backed in my sleeper at a rest area. Had me looking like a Swift driver for a few days before I got it fixed. I know, I hate that. When there's damage on there, why are we backing up and all? They just couldn't pull in their spot. I hope you got the information and they had to pay and all that. I mean, it's certainly their fault. Chef Matt, some trucking companies allow the public access to their company yard. How does a publicly accessible trucking company yard, a yard move, actually yard move? Have we started talking politics? No, and what they said is that they clarified that a motor carrier's place of business is considered a yard to the FMCSA. That's what they said. So they're saying, okay, where the motor carrier does business is a yard. So you're going to be able to log that as yard move, regardless, apparently, on whether it's open to the public or not, because the FMCSA clarified, they're saying yes. Their place of business is a yard. They didn't put any stipulations on it or anything. They're saying, all right, you do business here, it's a yard. That's how it is. So wherever your yard is, wherever you get your truck or whatever, if it's the motor carrier's place of business, yeah. Now, I've had companies that rent a truck from Rollins. Remember Rollins Rental? That was where they rented our trucks for Rheem water heaters. So that's really not, I would get my truck there at Rollins every Monday morning. And that's not really where the motor carrier does business. I didn't really have yard move then. But so that would not be a yard move because it's not the motor carrier's place of business. Really, that's just where you're getting the truck. But if you're at your motor carrier's place of business, the FMCSA says it's yard move. So I think you can come in there and log it yard move, according to the FMCSA. Garrett Richard, nobody ever explained yard move. Thank you for your information. I've been using it wrong. You're welcome. And a lot of people do. They were pretty clear, or they were pretty clear on what a yard is, but nobody ever really explained yard move. Just, if you're just moving around, it's yard. But they said only a place that was not accessible to the public through a fence or a gate. But then they're saying, well, wait a minute. The motor carrier's place of business, which could still be open, right, to the public, yeah, we're going to allow that as a yard move. DOT officers are dumb and can't read logs. George Costanza, nice. Most barely passed high school. The chance of getting an audit are zero. Creep off due to your yard move as long as your company doesn't notice. Well, I'm saying when the company gets audited, companies regularly get an audit or whatever, and if they get an audit and we're able to match that up electronically, that's a problem. Christina, did I find a house? Well, we went to look at a specific house in Rockport that was built in 1880, 1881, and it looked great. And we talked to the realtor, and I thought, all right, I love radiated heat and stuff. Now, if the realtor would, this is a 4-hour round trip, 4 hours each way for me, okay? If the realtor would be honest about it, I wouldn't even have gone down there. The house is wonderful. You get in, there's no radiators. I'm like, where are the radiators? Oh, she goes, there's a couple and they don't work and there's no other radiators. It's going to need a whole heating system. She goes, we've gotten a bid for like $35,000 because it doesn't have any duct work because it's radiated heat. I'm like, why didn't you tell me that? You can't even move into this place. The water doesn't work. The electric was a disaster. I'm like, you should be more honest in your ads. So that house down the tubes. Kenneth, take your truck home. It doesn't get more yard than that. You're literally in your yard. I wonder if they would consider that a yard move where you're driving down your driveway. I don't think so. It's not blocked off from the public through a fence or a guard, unless you do have a guard at your driveway. You live in like some gated community. That's a possibility. I think if you lived in a gated community, which some of you probably do based on the money that you make, that could be considered a yard because the public doesn't have access to that. Day cab gear jammer, some rest areas that are smaller, you might pull in and you have to park on the end. Then if someone leaves, you want to be courteous and take the less in the way spot. Well, that would be, you can almost creep it up, I guess, there, right? But yeah, but so they're saying no to rest areas, so you can't yard move that. You should be able to PC for that, moving to accommodate or safe. George Costanza, if your company allows it. Some don't, like me. I can't PC anywhere. It's blocked off. They're like, no, you're not allowed to PC. Always keep a dozen donuts on you, half sprinkled and half glazed to get the DOT off your case. I do think donuts work if you make the same delivery all the time. You should take donuts in there and hand them out. I heard that we'll soon be logging bathroom breaks as dump moves. Nice. A day cab gear jimmer crap realtor of the week. I think that, it would save the realtor time too. She had to drive probably 35 minutes down from her house to show me this house. So on a Sunday. So if this realtor would just be honest, it would have saved her, several hours of her day too. It doesn't make any sense. Why does she want to go down there and then say, oh, well, it needs all this work? Well, I'm like, well, forget this. I'm not doing this. I wanted the radiated heat in it. It doesn't work. So no way. I'd got to find a 90-year-old guy to fix all the radiators. Trucking Journeys. The reason I was given for a no truck camera policy was any camera facing forward. 90% of accidents, they catch the driver fault and hurt in court, so best not to use it. That's what I thought. I was always, there's movement behind me. Sorry, I'm always surprised at that too. How about some of them that they don't talk about, which is the company gets a problem from the camera, What about that? What about those problems? Oh, look, there's another furry friend. Nigma comes for a visit. Yeah, what about all that stuff, though? When they do that with the cameras, that's always been crazy. They never talk about that. I wish Lytics would talk about that. How many of them, because of the camera, have been a problem? I'm doing a cat break for a moment while some movement goes on back here. Gracie will take the stage momentarily. And we are back. All right. Yikes. Has that ever happened? Any company on here want to announce that's ever happened? Probably not. What about the part that faces the driver? Yikes. That could hurt. It seems like that could hurt the company as much as it helps them. The best DOT inspection I've ever came was during the Blitz in May. The poor officer hadn't gotten breakfast and hadn't been relieved for lunch, and his relief was late. Oh, I love that. Do a segment on what truck training schools should be about and actually teach. Oh, that'd be really something. That's not a bad idea. Chef Matt, if a tow truck is hooking up a truck in a truck stop to tow it to the shop on the property, is that a yard move since money was handed to the tow company on the spot? Oh, that's interesting. Well, you wouldn't have to log that at all. You're not driving, so you're back on duty. If you're the one being towed, you're just on duty. So that's not a problem, and I got to say duty. But the tow truck driver would be on duty and then driving. Yep. I'm on my 3rd week training with NFI. Oh, Nikita, nice. So far, it seems like a good company for people right out of school. That's good. I'd heard they started doing some training there. Fleet Nav appreciates the cat breaks. That's good. We appreciate that. Let's see. Where am I doing here? All right. That's awesome. The cats appreciate it, too. Nigma is such a pretty kitty. I know. It's so furry. I just want to pet that cat. It's so furry. They're so soft. The furry ones get soft. I live in a gated community in Dallas. That's what I'm saying. Trucking Journey is like 10 minutes from our factory. 3-story townhouse with a garage and wood-burning fireplace. But the gated community kind of satisfies the FMCSA's definition of an area that is not accessible to the public, either because of a fence or a guard. And so the public can't just drive in your community, right? You don't want all of us riffraff driving around in there. And so absolutely. That's the thing. Camera, not a problem. I know you do love yours. Christina heard the kid. Yeah, she had to take off. So had to get the smooch in while she heads out. Oh, Nickma not here? I'm sorry about that. I didn't know. You never said. I miss her. I'm sorry. She'll live on at the show. Luke, I bet if I had to let my dog out in the back fenced yard, that's a yard move. That's literally a yard move. Right. All right. I love it. You take break, write me out. Yes, that's what the cat, of course, is not out here because she's looking at the birds on the sunny day, probably. Most places, I don't think most companies even teach anything about yard move. They don't say anything about it, and they don't really talk about it. But yet, you could yard move a lot of the stuff that people do. But if you have to do a lot of yard move, you got to really think, why am I doing this? Am I just giving the company free time? You know, I don't really like that. I don't like all the free time. Chef Matt, oh, that's pretty good. I love it. Chad, an up-and-coming outfit of Indiana Dick Johnson is a company called Peter Beaters. Right, I love that. That's good. I thought that was going somewhere. Trucking Journeys, you don't have to offer camera footage in court, but it is open to discovery. I mean, yeah, they'd demand that. No, you don't offer it, but the other side, if they know you have a camera, it's going to demand that footage. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. So if you have a lytic system or whatever, the hammer is going to come to court and say, we want that footage. Because believe me, if he knows, the hammer knows, if you, the company that owns the footage, doesn't offer it, it doesn't support your side. So he's going to get that footage. And that footage could be used against you in a court of law, right? You would not be allowed to pass go. You would not be allowed to collect $200. That's how it would work. Trucking Journey, so cameras can hurt more than they can save, at least when an accident happens on the road, rather than when parked. Well, that's the thing of it. The camera is the double-edged sword. And companies never talk about how the footage doesn't help them. It hurts them. That's never brought up, but it has to. Because if a truck hit me, that's the first thing I would tell the attorney is, hey, go see if that truck's got a camera in it. Let's go see exactly what was happening. So absolutely, and somebody like the Hammer, which there are billboards everywhere, but he knows this attorney, is going to get that footage. So that is not going to help the company depending on what the driver was doing. I think companies settle those quicker when they have a camera, especially if they're at fault. I heard NFI trucks aren't set up well for over-the-road journeys. G&P got bought by NFI, and a lot of their drivers complained about being out in NFI trucks. Why? They're not out long, at least here. I guess in Lebanon, Indiana, they're home every day. So it depends on what you do for NFI. They do a lot of different stuff. Yard move still on duty, should be getting paid. Anything you do at work, LM Malcolm, in my opinion, you should get paid for it. If a company has you working, they should pay you, period. They shouldn't ask you to do anything for free. This isn't 1858 where we make people work for nothing. Anything that a company asks you to do or that benefits the company in some way, changing trailers benefits them too, you should get paid for it. I'm not asking for anything that a McDonald's employee wouldn't get. Does anyone know Geometric Yard is hiring for 1 or 2 tow truck drivers to start on June 1st? I think I saw the Hammer doing a photo op on I-80. Oh, mate, was he on top of a trailer? They're classic. The camera allows the company to hang the driver. The company may pay, but no fault. Oh, yeah, anytime, which I don't understand. Companies are like on a firing spree for experienced drivers, and they let them go for little to no reason, and it doesn't make any sense. And it's just to show, oh, well, look, as soon as a driver's not 100% paying attention, that driver's gone. That doesn't really make any sense to me. We're not wearing seatbelt. Well, you're supposed to wear your seatbelt, certainly. NFI trucks have driver-facing camera. If you move the truck for any reason, you get fired. Love it. That's the other side of using cameras, Fleet Nav Systems, would be that professional drivers would less likely be the ones at fault since they're the pros and usually the truck sighted if no video. Look, the forward-facing camera could save your butt. I run my own dash cam, and I think everybody should because that footage can save you. Absolutely. Here's a few cases for, here's some few dollars for a case of water. Everyone hit the like button. Cash King Trucking. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you. I've been driving, George Costanza's been driving 2.5 years, and I've yet to meet a rude DOT officer. I know they exist, but the way drivers say it's like the white bed sheets in Tennessee. I've had 3 inspections. Yeah, that's an old trucker tale. There's nowhere in the green book, which is the rules, that says you have to have white bed sheets. All right. It does suggest that the sleeper needs to be satisfactory for restful, for rest, meaning a bare mattress may be harder to log sleeper berth time on than a mattress that has bedding on it. But you don't have to have white bed sheets. This was always, usually I heard it from Maryland. That's what I heard it starting in my career. Well, you have to have white because in Maryland, they make you come out and attend to an accident. You have to stop at an accident and attend to victims. You don't have any duty, there it is again, to attend to anyone. That's my opinion. I'm, of course, not a lawyer. You should check the local FMCSA field office for more information about that. But you don't have to do anything, right? I'm not taking my bed sheets and doing it. I'm not a doctor. Right, I'm not anything like that. So, but that was always Maryland. I always heard. I didn't know it moved over to Tennessee where you have to have white bed sheets. I don't think you have to have any kind of certain bed sheets. And I still, people, oh yes you do, Mark. I'm like, well, show it to me in the book where the regulation is. Well, you know what's in there. I go, no, I don't know. Show it to me. Well, Mark, the guy at the counter told me. All right, no way. When I was lead man, well, Bill, I would never ask or expect anyone to do something I would not do myself. That's true. You should never, but trainers shouldn't do that either on the road. You shouldn't expect anyone to do anything that you wouldn't do, right? But companies shouldn't expect anyone to go work and do something that they're not paid for. Kevin hits the like button, which I appreciate. I'm almost at 4 years of driving, Luke, and I've never used Yard Move or even thought about it. Yeah, so you're never at the edge of your hours, which is good, because I think you get really tired. Fleet Nav Systems has taken off. Have a great week and be safe. All right. Thank you for being here today. G&P is an OTR regional company, so they're out 2 weeks, and the interior is too small to hold a bunch of stuff. They use lightweight interiors, kind of like the lightweight prime trucks, which are still bigger. I mean, this is the ongoing thing, I guess, from people that have been driving and people that start driving, which, you know, when I started driving, I had a 36-inch sit-in sleeper. You couldn't take anything, and when I went to bed, I would have to take the stuff, my bag and stuff, off the bed and put it on the passenger seat and then put it back on there to drive. That's how I started over the road driving. So I think they're probably bigger than they have been. But if they're, look, and here's the thing. If you go to a company and you don't like the truck setup, I guess leave. You know, I don't know how bad it would be. I haven't looked inside one of their trucks, but look, if it's not something that, if you're going to be aggravated by it all the time, it's not worth working there. You're not going to be a good driver. You can end up quitting anyway. So, yeah, leave. Dynamic dueling duo. I talked to a recruiter, Covenant, and I used your questions, and they said I'm well informed. Well, that's good, and thank you for that. The team drive, that is true. The lower 38. But I have 2 more job offers. Thanks for the questions. Well, you're quite welcome. And the idea also is to use them at multiple places so that you can ask this question the same way and see what the answers are. Yeah, so, yeah, thank you for that. I'm glad that they were helpful for you. Delaware, you should white glove drive. In Delaware, Marty, you have to wear white gloves when you drive only, and they must be crisp. A no duty in Maryland. Yeah, exactly. I personally don't think you have a legal duty to stop and help in any situation, unless you're like a doctor or whatever. But I guess I'm not a lawyer, so that could be something for a legal question for somebody. So her G&P has started buying G&P OTR spec trucks again. Okay, I mean, what are we talking, 70 inches that we want? Because the prime trucks, which I get letters, I don't know, every month, maybe one a month, 55-inch sleeper on their lightweight trucks. And I'm like, yeah, that's great. And people are like, it's so small. I'm like, well, I don't know. That doesn't seem too small. Kevin, yeah, what's the thread count requirement? What are these, 100 count sheets? What am I, sleeping on sandpaper here? It makes no sense because that makes it seem as everyone on the road needs bed sheets. Trucker JP, well, what the DOT is saying in the sleeper berth part about being able to get restful sleep is that they may think that you cannot get restful sleep laying on a mattress. And so it doesn't have to be any kind of specific thing. They're not very specific about it, but the bed has to be such that you can get restful, you can be rested. And so I guess if it's blank, you're just a mattress. Even I have a pillow and a sheet back there now. Okay, so it's just a mattress, and and you've logged sleeper time, and they go, well, where are you sleeping? And you go, I sleep on this mattress. That's harder to say than, all right, you got a pillow and sheets and stuff back there. That's the kind of thing, and that is in the Green Book. That's probably in the TMC handbook right after not walking on the grass. Well, look, their beds have to be made. That is true. And that's a true story. When you get inspected at their terminal, the bed has to be made. Your bed has to be made. I don't make my bed at home. I'm not making it for my boss at work, okay? He doesn't pay me to make and you're not paid for it. And so he literally doesn't pay me to make it. Gear Jammer here. The white bed sheet issue started with the railroad back in the 1800s. Nice. It was a law. I remember reading about that 40 years ago. Maybe in the 1800s, it might have been some kind of law. In the Green Book now, no. At least 600 thread count, 800 and up is better. I heart Cryptoverse. I agree. Right. Buy the good sheets. I actually do agree with this, and I've recommended this. You're in bed a lot of the day, sometimes a third of the day. Get nice sheets, okay? Be comfortable. Spend a little money, okay? I believe 70 hours and 8 days is part-time work. I want to change to 70 and 7. 110 days, cash is king. Well, you can still do that right now, ironically. But, yeah, I hear you. I worked at a shop that did repair for NFI in South Bend, home of RVs. Their trust are so generic cameras facing driver. If we moved the truck in and out of the shop, had to wear seatbelts, so they call and fire the tech. I love that. Why can't you move out of the shop bay to the front without putting your seatbelt on? So put your seatbelt on, get out of the truck, put your seatbelt back on when you get back in the truck. Oh my gosh. And then they'd fire you for it? See, that's the thing. But then they can say in an accident, say another one of their trucks has an accident. They can go, look, here's our safety. We fire people, even if they don't have their seatbelt on for a minute, they're fired. And so that helps in a jury case later, I think. That's why I think places do it. Jubbawub, I use a yard move all the time to get my trailer in the morning. That way I don't have to log drive time before doing a pre-trip. If it's in any of these places, I mean, are you doing it legally or are you just doing it? Like if it's in your place of business now, is it in a closed yard? What do you think? Are you doing it legally? Nobody knows who you are here. Kevin is heading out. Thank you for making Mondays great again. Thank you. I appreciate that. I hope to see you next Monday. Can I use microfiber sheets? No on-duty sheets here. I'm covered with 18,000 microfiber sheets. Those big packs you get at the AutoZone. Misty. I spent time in a lightweight Cascadia that wasn't terrible, but I was home every weekend at that job. So it's a few days. You don't have to pack for weeks. And if this is like the prime lightweight Cascadias, those are 55-inch sleeper, which I don't think is terrible. Like a 55-inch mid-roof, not super bad. I've always heard Virginia and Massachusetts were strict. That was always the thought of these white sheets. It was always some northeastern state that when people would tell me, oh, get your white sheets ready. I'm like, what white sheets? I have Rugrat sheets on there. It's different, though, when I'm somewhere a while and it gets bought out. Need a medium MyPillow. You have to use MyPillow. How else are you going to sleep in there? Do it South America style. Sling a hammock under the trailer, the hool. That'd be pretty good in the summertime, right? And then you write the time on the back of the trailer, which I've talked about. I knew a guy that said that. You write 2 p.m. or whatever on the back of the trailer, or 2 a.m. And he said, this was when I started driving, and he'd been driving many, many years. He swore up and down that you could do that, and drivers would honk at you at that time, like a rolling wake-up call. He swore up and down that happened. Most over-the-road companies recommend a sleeping bag when you go to training. Misty, yes, and I do as well, because you're probably going to slip bed with the same person, especially when you're rolling. A good trainer will not let you sleep on the top when you're going, unless you're at England and you have to, because there's bodies all over the place. But other than that, Yeah, because you're going to go down there and then the next person, and it's probably a man. He has all of his bedding probably on the bed already. And so you're going to just lay on there with your sleeping bag. It's probably not a bad idea if it's not your truck and you don't know. It's just weird. It's just weird. It'd be like going to somebody's house and then sleeping in their bed. Cash is King Trucking. You need a rubber sheet on that mattress. I saw that mattress in one of your videos. Oh, right. That's true, right? Yeah. And the thing is, nobody really sleeps in the truck, so I don't know what happens to it. When I'm driving local, my boss found a pillow in my day cab and went berserk. I used to rest while I was getting loaded and unloaded. He never understood. Well, what is it? What would he care? I know some of the day cabs here have pillows in them. They have one has a pillow and a blanket in it. I'm like, what? So somebody's getting some snooze time. They just can't log sleeper time. It would be okay. I'd rather you got some rest, really, if you were tired, rather than, not doing that. Jason Jefferson has silk sheets and cashmere blankets. I don't like the silk ones too much. They get hot at night. Cash King Trucking, I believe you should make your bed as nice as possible. It's especially good for old bones that need rest. I think you should spend some money on bedding. I do. Spend a couple of $100 on bedding. And I know I shouldn't have said that with Cash King Trucking. He may be where he's driving or something. I don't want him to crash hearing those kind of figures being thrown around for bedding. But I think you should have some nice sheets and get a good night's sleep and a nice pillow. Got to run. Thanks for another good show. Okay, GP Transco, thank you for being here. I appreciate you being here. I wouldn't sleep on one of those Cooley Company mattresses if you paid me. The last one I had was squirming. Well, you got to do the bed check, which we did because we stayed overnight going to look at that house. And so, of course, I did the check under the bed for bed bugs and porn. I did my checks. Room passed inspection, so okay. Made $80,000 on 276 days of work. Man, the money. You guys making all kinds of money. No one here has even come close to the minimal amount of money that I make, by the way. Everybody's like 50% more than me. Nice. Studio sleepers are the best. Alaska Hall. Look, I like the big sleepers for sure. But I don't think that, especially if you're home on weekends, a 55-inch sleeper is terrible. I don't think that's terrible. Now, if you're leasing it at Prime, where you're like, I'm going to sleep in this for 6 weeks at a time, I don't think so. But home weekends, I don't think that's terrible. Sorry I didn't clarify. Aviator Trucker, I haul gasoline, diesel, jet fuel, kerosene, avgas, and ethanol. All right. So basically a finished product. That's pretty good. I wonder how many people were impacted just by what you did this year. Think about that. How many really, literally, probably thousands of people were impacted. You impacted their life by the things that you did. Cash is King Trucking. I had silk sheets when training, hit the brakes. Training went through the windshield. Oh, my gosh. Legend has it he's still out there somewhere walking around waiting for you to pick him up. Oh my gosh, that is too good. Back in my day, white sheets were required in case you came in an accident. I've been out here 40 years and don't think I'd use some driver's sheets. Well, Tom, I'll tell you, this is 32 years for me this year here. And 30 thinking back, 88, right. This will be 32. This will be 33 years in July. And it's never been a regulation. It's not a regulation that anybody could ever point to me. There were people that talk about that. But here's the thing. That's true. If you're on an accident scene and some driver, Billy Big Rigger, comes out with his sheets, you want that guy wrapping those sheets around you? He's like, I've been out 7 weeks. Here's my sheets. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'd rather die out here. I use bamboo sheets on a MyPillow. Bamboo sheets. Those seems like they'd be really hard. Are you happy driving liquids? It sounds like a good niche, Aviator Trucker. People will always need that too. It's another thing. People never stop driving. I always use it legally. Okay, I'm just curious. They randomly check and will say something if we're doing it wrong. Only gray hair is crossing the street into one of our drop lots. Yeah, it's probably not yard move because they say any driving on a public street is not yard move. But, I'm really, for 10 seconds? Is anybody going to say anything? Probably not. Only your company. Marty, I pee the bed every Wednesday. What happens in a 3-bunk truck? Oh, you get to pee 3 different beds. He was sure we were sleeping on the clock as we were paid hourly. Well, Bill, look, if you're getting unloaded and you're getting paid hourly, then what are you supposed to just sit there awake? What's the difference? I mean, it has no effect on the load, right? Day cab gear jammer has a miniature My Pillow in his day cab. I'm getting stuck at a refrigerated grocery warehouse in the middle of the night. That's not a bad idea. Apparently, this guy with his My Pillow, I see why this guy's making a bunch of money. Cassius King bought my sheets at Goodwill. Saved a ton. Yikes. They're next to the underwear section there. Some things you just don't buy used. Alexander made $40,000 in 5 months at Schuster. So that's a potential of $100,000 or close to $100,000 there. That's pretty good. These kind of monies are, this is the thing that new people don't get. I mean, the first year it is horrible, and $300 a week I don't think is enough. But if you'll stay and just get a little bit of experiencing you can get to this six-figure number that everybody puts out there. It's possible. It is possible. At the right place, with a little bit of effort, it's possible. Cassius King, she can't cover her body with a blue sheet. I mean, at point, does it affect the person being covered? I think you're not covering a dead body because you wouldn't get your sheet back. But the idea was, somebody's arm is cut off and you have to use it as a tourniquet. I don't know why they wanted white sheets. They always said it was something about the dye, right? Isn't it the dye? The sheets are dyed, and so that dye somebody could be allergic to it. I'm like, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to be getting out and doing anything. You have to be the first one on the scene, also the one with the sheets that you're willing to give up. I mean, come on. Hirschbach, $4,000 sign-on bonus. Not really West Coast. Keep you by the house. My unsolicited recruiting message I got on New Year's Eve. Yeah, Hirschbach is out recruiting people that didn't even ask to be recruited. I figure those sheets could stand up on their own. Cash King Trucking. Yeah, $2 for a set of sheets. Holy mackerel. The best job I've ever had here at Aviator Trucker. I've done it now for 10 years. Home every night, paid by the hour, weekends and holidays, and monthly bonuses. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great job. Well, Bill, that is true. You do more yard moves than everybody. You probably back in more in a day than some people back in a year. George Wilson, when the Sears Tower was built 47 years ago, the window frames came out of Seco Steel at 16th and Coster. My dad told me trucks were staged along Canal Street to get unloaded. That's pretty cool. I've been up there, so I've seen those. I keep a Snuggie in my day cab when I need to wait on a relay driver. See, you're in a Snuggie? That's pretty good. And that's aggravating. Waiting for somebody? Oh, I hate doing that here, too. Oh, somebody is late, and they're going to run out of hours. Can you go down and wait for them here in the middle of the deserted area with no lights? Yeah, I'd love to. Oh, they're going to be there in 10 minutes, right? That's what they tell us. They're going to be there. You get there and like, turns out they're 7 hours away. Yeah, sorry. Super aggravating. Thanks you, Dirty Broker, selling me on the idea. Nobody would fuss at you for driving slow. Absolutely. You got to take it easy on the corners. We don't want you to spill a bunch of gasoline all over the place. Tom, glad I got to watch today for a while. Love the show. Got to get rolling and chat later. Everyone be safe out there. Thank you for being here. I'm glad you came in too. We'll see you next Monday. It goes every week. Roger's recovering from knee surgery. Pensky, it's good to see you. How did that go? Apparently you are on this side of it, so a few more weeks of that, right? And you'll be back till like noon. Cassius King Trucking. I don't think I'm asking for the tourniquet sheet back. That's the other thing. So what am I going to hand him out a $50 sheet? And then where's my sheet? I got no sheet. And then the ironic part. So you stop at an accident. You go give him your sheets. You go down the road. And then you get questioned by the DOT for logging sleeper berth. We don't have any sheets. Now what? You go, well, I gave them to that guy back there. Oh, right. They go, right. You hear about not driving in New York. How about refusing to drive in L.A.? Misty, yes, some people don't want either coast, and I kind of agree with them. You're stuck in traffic all the time. I agree. You should be able to carve that out, too. I know some companies do that, where you can carve like little parts of the country out. Let's carve out, L.A. also. If somebody had an arm missing, I'd grab a bungee cord. That's what they're going to need. Grab that belt off your, your suspenders. I carry a tourniquet in the truck if I'm not using my sheets. Yeah, here's a tourniquet. I happen to have one. 2 Wookiees and a pancake is here. Sorry, I'm late. Busy morning. Well, it's good to see you. This job is really easy at Aviator Trucker because the freight loads and unloads itself. Yeah, that's pretty true, right? Unfortunately, it takes a lot of concentration because one mistake is expensive and explosive. Dropping the wrong fuel is expensive, I bet. When I go get my fuel at the Chuckles down in southern Indiana, I love filling up there. It better be the right one when I press that button. Chuckles, that's where I filled up. A lot of these distribution centers park in their overflow out on the street. Yeah, they just go park on the street or wherever you can find. Especially in the ports, you have to go outside to pick up your trailer, but I never use yard move. Malcolm. Yeah, well, the DOT says if you're on a public street, you can't use yard move. But the lot itself, the intermodal yard, would be. But that's going to be from the guard in or from wherever you sign in. It's not going to be, if you go out on the street, you're going to have to put that on driving. Legally. I know people probably don't. I get that. Anyone get stuck at Van Horn, Texas? In the snowstorm for 17 hours because the sign says right lane closed. When you get there, all lanes are closed. Hunsley. Yeah, Van Horn. I haven't been down there in a while. Is that the place with the burritos? I remember everything by food. That place, there was a place down there, right, that had these big, gigantic burritos you could get. Some Sam's Club or Costco gas stations go through 20,000 fuels a day. I know I see Sam's. I don't have a Costco here. Sam's, people are lined up out there. And it's like 4 cents less, than other gas stations. And this is another one of those, time versus money things. Are you going to wait 20 minutes to fill up your car, get 10 gallons and save 40 cents? Did you really save any money? No. You didn't. You wasted a half an hour after you filled the car up to save 40 cents. You made 80 cents an hour. Think, people. Not worth it. Whenever you need gas, just go buy gas. Wherever it is. I was by the Chuckles. I'm like, let's go get gas. And so we went and got gas. Easy. Chuckles. Plus, I think it's hilarious. Thank you, sir. I appreciate the info. If I make videos, I'll certainly watch for Aviator Trucker, right? I buy a tourniquet set and first aid kit. I have one, and it should be standard. If somebody else is going to use it, here's the thing. I'm not a doctor. I took first aid in high school, and then I haven't taken it since. So I'm not trained in any of this. I'm just not trained for it. So I don't want to hurt anybody or whatever. So I don't know about using the tourniquet on somebody. Jason Jeffers buys the used sheets from the Bunny Ranch. They're on sale now. Only slightly used on Sundays. 2 Wookiees and a pancake. Your Sunday rant. Drivers that put fuel hose back up will still fuel in the line. On a side note, my company just switched you from mileage to hourly. 26 for hours, no overtime. Did you have a choice? Did you accept it? Not that you have to have a choice, but just wondering how that went. Did they say, hey, do you want to switch? Or, how did that go down? It's Monday. Canadian sheets, yes, they're longer because they're metric. Get the Goodwill sheet to give it away at the accident. Doing my duty. You could save those in there and go, here, I got some sheets for you. It says Goodwill on it. With COVID, traffic in LA has been much lighter. That's good. Yard move can only be used in a secured lot. Bob, well, they clarified that it can be at the motor carrier's place of business now. They just put out clarification about yard move. It can be the carrier's place of business. Or a shipper's private lot. That's a quote on there. Now, it cannot be like a public road, that kind of thing, but your company's place of business would be considered a yard move. Misty, LA still miserable. They just changed the truckers. Yeah, they're doing a clarification for people because there's a lot of questions about yard move. Alan Benedict, one old timer said that he no longer stops at accidents to assist due to more four-wheelers saying the trucker helped cause the accident. That's another problem. You're out there, they'll be like, well, why did you stop here? Were you involved? That's kind of thing. Marty, I have 3 mattresses. On the road I would have one of those foam, which I have here at home too. I have a huge one on the bed, but that compression foam kind of thing, I always put that on there. Yeah, so that's what I always did. I like them. David Swanson, great live podcast. Oh, I never thought about it like that. Live podcast. Thank you. Yeah. Thanks. Mr. Joshua. Mark, for real, I just had a lot lizard jimmy my door and steal my pants. I was on a rest period for 3rd shift. How does someone steal your pants? Are your pants on the seat? How does someone get in your door? I mean, we need to know more information. There's a joint in Argo and Archer that has huge burritos right next to the corn products plant. Are they as big as your head, this place? I don't remember if it was Van Horn, but it was one of those places down there. Had these gigantic burritos. I consider toll road yard move at your leisure. Well, is that a public road? You could say, well, look, this is a private road. Some of them are owned privately. And so this is all yard move. That'd be an interesting thing to try, wouldn't it? Roger Penske, Happy New Year. Just woke up out of a fog. Another gorgeous day in Phoenix. Yeah, get better soon down there. You're all rebuilt now. You're like Lee Majors. I've been watching trucks from Europe. Can someone explain the airline connections? How are they different in Europe? I haven't driven an air brake or a European type of truck. Usually I get a few people here from Europe. There might be somebody on from Europe right now. There might be somebody on from the group Europe as well. Alexander, I don't remember if I mentioned this, but Schuster's giving another raise on the 15th. So the pay keeps going up. As if 100,000 isn't enough. That's good, though. 2 Wookiees and a pancake went into the office and had to sign the form they made. No choice. The company's putting all employees on hourly. I wonder why. Usually the companies don't like you to be on hourly. Van Horn is the place of the mega burritos. Recently had a bean burrito. My white sheets didn't appreciate it, Alan. You can give those out at the next accident. Okay, so that is the burrito place. Tourniquets are easy. Just don't let any male body part get clamped by accident. I'll keep that in mind. Of the patient or of yourself, presumably. Got a roll. Glad I finally caught a live. Thanks to Stay Safe. Ellen Malcolm, thank you for being here. These are live every Monday at 12:30 Eastern. Mr. Joshua, I'm in St. Louis and eventually walk back and return them. Really? Why would she return them? A lot of lizards are sneaky. Well, why do you go through all that trouble to steal your pants and then return them? If my nose is bleeding, do I put the tourniquet around my neck? Asking for a friend. Hey, your nose is on fire here. She's probably hoping your wallet was in one of the pockets. No driver keeps their wallet in their pants, do they? The burrito place is north of the corn plant, and they are huge. The corn plant or the burritos? Or both? Stormy in Sacramento, yeah, but warm. I mean, we did get above freezing here today. Have you noticed the shape of the Genesia region, that Mike Lindell commercial? Looks like part of the female anatomy. No, I don't have any idea what you're talking about. I don't watch TV during the week, so I don't get as much TV in as a lot of people do. I only watch TV on the weekends, and didn't get any in this weekend because I was traveling. It's only a couple of hours. A tourniquet and first aid kit with antibacterial spray, Bactine, not sponsored, is a good idea to keep, because if you get yourself hurt, then you have what you need to do some basic life-saving things. Look, if I have to do life-saving things, I'm going to call 911. I'm talking just like a small cut or whatever. Life-saving. You got the lizard by the tail, but you still got away. I mean, at least the one didn't steal your pants when you talked to her. Exit 64 and 15 in Nevada has an amazing taco wagon. It's on the opposite side of the interstate. Even has good truck parking. Always out south and west. These food trucks, taco wagons and stuff, they're super good. Alexander, greed is the best of the deadly sins. All right, greed. Checking for a wallet. I mean, do drivers have wallets in their pocket? I would suggest most people do not drive with the wallet in their pocket. I certainly don't. White sheets are to lie on, never to be worn. Exactly. By clarifying the law, they showed their incompetence in writing laws. Chef Matt. Exactly, because the first law, I think, was a little too specific, where even your own company's yard was not a yard move if it wasn't closed off from the public. So now they're saying, look, any company's place of business, your motor carrier's place of business, is a yard move. Because people, I think, were getting busted on yard move in their own lot. Borrowed the paint to make the tourniquet, the pants to make, maybe she needed a tourniquet. She was bleeding. See, it's 54 degrees there. That's what I'm saying. The burritos are in Summit, Illinois on Archer Road. Can you park a truck there? Nordic countries run long units and big horsepower. That's true. I've seen 700s out there. But the speed is set at 55. Yikes. 130 feet long. Well, that's not great. But they have like 2 big wagons that they hook together. Or whatever, but I've never really seen them hook the hoses up, I guess. A couple hours from now, I'll be going through Lafayette, Indiana, headed towards Indianapolis. Steel horse. Oh, that's pretty good. Every once in a while I get people going by. That's great. Well, the roads are good today. You shouldn't have any problems. You'll need new sheets after you stop for that burrito, but they're so good. You get a few extras and throw them in your fridge down there. Oh, great. Neapolitan sheets. And the thing down there, I guess if you're stuck there, Van Horn, there are worse places to be stuck in, certainly, than a place full of burritos. Go get in there early. That's the place up that hill then, right? You get off and it's up there. It's up. I'm pointing up, but people can't see me. But it's up. It's kind of up a hill, if I remember right then. That place in Van Horn. up. See, like, even the cat is looking up. So I think that place was up a hill, if I remember. I was lucky I got Van Horn right. Well, Bill, no place to park a truck. Okay, so we can't get trucks in there in Summit. Some of these places you could pull off like into a mall or whatever, but I guess you won't be parking a car there, whether you're since the vet's in the shop. The Walcott Trucker Jamboree, by the way, I'll be at that. Who will be there? July 8th to 10th. Currently, it is a go. Okay, so they're currently saying yes to that. I'll be there. I think that's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So I'll be there. I'll try and be there Friday. I don't know. I'll be there for sure on a Saturday. We'll have to see on the dates. I should have looked those up, really. If it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, then I can be there 2 days. I'll take Friday off and come down, motel it, and then go to the Jamboree. It's outdoors in Walcott at the world's largest truck stop. I'll just be out walking around. And please stop by and say hello. I'd love to meet everybody in person there. And there's plenty of truck parking there at the world's largest truck stop. I know about a great food truck, but won't tell about it because I don't want you creeps in my parking spot. Doggy bite. We might steal your place. 2 Wookiees and a pancake. They probably want hourly because it's probably more about bookkeeping. Since it's easier to keep track of my hours because of the... look, it's easier to keep track of everybody's hours. I wish they paid you overtime. 26 is not terrible, though. There are places paying 20 in overtime. So I guess 40 hours, you're over $1,000 already. Who's been to Perishable Distributors in Iowa? In Ankeny, Iowa, the home of pork. Misty, Betsy's adorable. I love that cat. She's so smooth. I need to meet these cats. Everybody bring their cat to the Truckers Jamboree. Men should go back to wearing purses like in the Middle Ages. Yeah, look, they have merces now, which is what I call them, a merce. Okay? Your burrito now is second to none. I've eaten my way across the country many times. And I remember, and I haven't been on the road for years, and I remember the burritos at a specific truck stop. So that's something. But that place had good burritos, and I thought, Van Horn, burrito, right? Only 2 truck stops there, Loves and Pilots. And was an independent place. It was the Van Horn stop or something. Is that burrito place at someone called El Famous Burritos? Is that right? El Famous. That's clever. That means the famous in English. So there's some translation for everyone. Alexander, welcome to Iowa. You never known Jamboree being on a weekend at I-80. Yeah, they're always the weekends, right? July 8th. Let me look at the calendar. I got a calendar thing on here. Calendar. Oh, Mark, you should already have this done. I should. May, June, July. All right, July 8th. Okay, it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 8 to 10. All right, so I'll be there Saturday on the 10th, July 10th at Walcott Truckers Jamboree. I'll come the 9th and hit the motel, or the 10th and then motel it on the 10th. We'll see how it works. But I'll be there on the 10th at the Truckers Jamboree since that's a Saturday. My hourly is based on my ELD, Misty. That's pretty good. I think that's the way to do it. Then you're paid for the work that you do. And I bet you're more likely to log all the work, right? So that you can get paid. That's the best way to do it, right? There's no reason not to do it that way. At PDI, we are paid hourly or mile and stop. We can choose either one. I take hourly and make $30 an hour. I would take $30 an hour also. I thought some of the pork was in D.C. Nice. Nordic trucks can run 90 tons on the highway. That's where they have 650 horse engines. Well, there are guys here running 600 horses in the United States. Howdy from Blytheville, Arkansas. Captain Flatbed, how's it going up there? You're the Rain Man of truck stop food. Cash is King Trucking. Yeah, people have called me Rain Man before. So El Famous is correct. Again, that means the famous in English. A really good Mexican food is next to Eating a Holy Sacrament. I bet that place is delicious, too. I've never been there all my days of running around Chicago. But, yeah, I think Wild Bill should fill up the Corvette with burritos and hand them out to everybody at Walcott Truckers Jamboree and bring the Corvette out there. Adrian DeVore loves me. I love you back. I think it's awesome. Look, there's not enough love in the world. How about that? Put a little love in the world. Don't forget to sign up for the Drug and Alcohol Clearinghouse. The companies have until tomorrow to do a limited query on everybody that they already have working there. And if you are going to change jobs, they have to do a full query on you at the Drug and Alcohol Clearinghouse, and they can't if you're not signed up. It's a requirement. And if you own your own truck, you've got a query about yourself. So absolutely. Get it signed in. From Richmond, Virginia. All right. The Mexican restaurant across from the Loves in Natalia, Texas has some of the best tacos and Mexican food ever. Right. A regular Mexican restaurant. I agree. I'm doing 3 trips a week to Sacramento from Portland, usually at the end of the week. 67 hours. Wow. Overtime would be nice, but drivers are exempt. Drivers are exempt from overtime, but that doesn't mean they can't pay it. It just means they don't have to pay it. So I love when companies say that we are exempt. Okay, but you can still pay it. Okay, you can pay it. Companies do pay it, and it can be paid. They just remember you can always tell them they just choose not to pay it. And that difference at 67 hours. We're back to the calculator again. All right, 67 hours. This is going to be great. This is why all drivers should get overtime. You're going to get $1,742 at straight time. That's really good. Okay, getting that many hours. But 67 hours is really 27 hours of overtime, right? Because you have 27 hours over the amount. Right? Right. Plus 40. So you would get with overtime. Oh, I just messed it up. See, I shouldn't be doing calculations when I'm on the show. 5 times 26. $2,093. That's the difference. $2,093 with overtime at $26 an hour. That's why you should get overtime. But you are correct. You're exempt, but they could pay it. They just choose not to pay you. Be sure to tell them that they're choosing to kind of hose you out of it. NFI trailers have ads saying 95% of their drivers are home every night. Yeah, most of them that I see are home every day. And the ad in Lebanon, which is the only one around here, is for some bread account, and they're home every day. Does anyone remember the burrito lady in Anthony, Texas, and Anthony, New Mexico? I don't remember. The Wild Bill Taco Vet, Captain Flatbed, that'd be pretty awesome. Fill it up with, I don't know, how many will fit in there? 7 tacos? Good to know. Could make it on my day off for the way home to Cedar Rapids. James Null, yeah. Let's everybody meet out there. I'm going to get tested for COVID tomorrow just to see if I'm negative. All right. Well, hopefully you're negative. Do you think that you have it? I mean, what makes you want to get a test? Van Hornets on the old main drag the road through town, west part of town. Plenty of parking nearby to enjoy the outside. So Trucker Jim's crying as a joke. They gave him a brand new Volvo. Okay, that's good, I guess. Well, drivers that cross state lines are exempt. Right, because interstate commerce is exempt from minimum wage and overtime laws. I'm exempt from working. That's the way to do it. A yard move only 3 feet. You could just creep that around, though, right? They use common core math. I'm exempt from working at a place that pays hourly but doesn't pay overtime. Cash is King Trucking. They should pay overtime. You're going to make a good living there. At $1,600 a week, you're still at $80,000, but they should pay overtime. They should pay you overtime. Mark would make a terrible robot because I can't do calculations. My friend doing NFI food grade, they have cameras inside the trailers. Nice. Not only watch you drive, you're saying they watch you in the trailer too? Nice. Registered over the weekend. I was surprised to see company check in September before I was registered. They could have checked in any time starting last January through tomorrow, basically. They should have done it earlier on a limited query for everybody, and they should have asked you to register. I don't know why companies are not telling people to get registered. They need you in there because they are the ones that are required to check. So whenever I see companies that don't know anything about it, I mean, this is their job, and the bigger the company is, they usually have some kind of compliance person, and that person should be the one doing it all, right? George Wilson, take care, listen to Mark, operate, stay safe and legal. Exactly. Don't work for chump change, and you should expect to demand full benefits, insurance, and should not be a big deal in this day of time. I agree, and thank you for saying that. I'm not asking for anything that, a teenager McDonald's doesn't get, which is hourly plus overtime for all of their time worked. That's it. And I think drivers, you're professionals. We love drivers. Okay, pay them. To say, well, you're exempt from overtime. We're not paying you. They could pay you. Misty, if you got 67 hours every week, you'd be up at six figures. Wouldn't that be nice? Of course, that's a lot of hours. I don't think I'd want it. And in fact, I don't. We could have longer runs here. I don't want to do them. Wouldn't want that many hours. I just wouldn't. The money, you can't get your time back. That's what's more important to me. Are you the Red Viking trucker's dad? It's possible, although I think we're close to the same age. There would be an X159 Plateau truck stop for the burrito. They also make fresh French fries. Is that the one? The Plateau. That's the one way up there on the hill, right? Way up there. What does Gracie think about burritos? Gracie's not that impressed with burritos, really. The Plateau, that's the one way up there. So I'm thinking I confuse Van Horn with Plateau, but there's one where you get off and you were kind of high up there where you can kind of look down into it. Wonder why Fleet Nav hasn't been live in the last 5 weeks. Christina, yeah, what's going on with them? They just left, but I think they're trying to revamp and, do what they want, although I don't know. The place paying $26 an hour probably paid $20 an hour if they did overtime. Cash King, yeah, they just reduce it and you'd still get you'd get the same $1,600. That's probably true. She loves them. She's so picky, I will tell you. Super picky. Hunsley, back to work. Happy and healthy New Year to you and your family. Keep on trucking and be safe. Thank you, and be safe out there. We'll see you on the next show, hopefully. Texas Trade, if you make $100,000 in a corporate job, you'll be working and traveling at least 60 hours a week anywhere. Yeah, look, I'm not up for the hours. I think you should make more and work less. That's what I think, because you can't get your time back. The time that you give up, you can't get back. Don't sell it for cheap, and certainly don't sell it for nothing. Where we do all this work for free, that's not great. The only reason companies can do it is because people allow it. Your time, nobody values their time as much as they should. That's kind of Motivation Monday, I guess. You need to value your time much, much higher than you do. It's so important. You have so little of it. Only 1,680 minutes a day. Just a very little bit amount of time, right? Value it a lot. It's precious. Don't give it away. Not a word from the company to register. Explanation of what was about even what I asked this summer. James Nunn. Is this a small place? I mean, how many trucks do they have? I guess if they had 4 trucks, but any place that's of any size should be on top of this. And honestly, any place that has authority should be on top of it because it's part of what it is to keep their authority. They talked about you can get a $2,500 fine for not being registered. So, and they'll catch you because they will be looking for that at scales when they do inspections. Not a word from the company to register. Okay, right. Cash King Trucking, I just started getting unloaded. That's awesome. That's pretty awesome. You had time to tie all your sheets up into partial tourniquets. I like my 40 to 50 hours a week as well. Having a life is awesome. Exactly. Regular week, and then there's more to life than work. People put all this time into work. I just read an article about people who, one woman, she went to the hospital. They were talking about, she's not a truck driver, but, and she was worried about emails that the boss was sending that she had to answer still on her off time. I'm like, why are you working for free is what I was thinking. Why is she doing that? Why is work so important? Forget work. You can go work anywhere. Forget all that. Go to the hospital and take care of yourself. If you're dead, work doesn't matter. If you're still driving a cab over, remember to wake your yard lizard before tilting the cab. This will save your windows embarrassment for your lot lizard. That's nice. That's pretty nice of you to do that, too. Gracie likes fish tacos. You know what? She likes beef-flavored cat food for some reason. I don't understand it. She looks like a burrito. That is true. Doggy bite. A lot of times she does look like a burrito. Motivation Monday. Cash is King. Look, sometimes I just have to tell people that stop selling your time for such a little amount of money. People don't realize how much value there is in their time. You can get whatever you want for your time if you just ask that amount of money for it. For those of you that haven't read it, I recommend you read the book every year, which I've started again this year. Think and Grow Rich. Read it every year. James Null, 220 drivers. Look, a place with 220 drivers is doing a ton of business a year, like millions of dollars. They should be on top of something like that. I was going to think if it was 4 drivers. That's one thing. They probably have a whole compliance department for logs, or they probably should. That person should be all about doing this. I would have been on it in January, sending out emails. Hey, did you register? Let me know you registered. You know, 2 Wookiees and you were making 20 an hour with it before they put you 26 without it. Well, is that better? Well, let's back to the calculator again. Rain Man gets out the calculator. Can't count cards here. So you'd get, you still have the same amount, right? So is that a better deal? 80.5 times 20. You're right, 1610. You're better off without the overtime. So that's super ironic. That's why they do it. You'd make 1610 at that rate on that many hours. Nice. I'm at 25.50, but overtime past 8. Misty, that's even better. The past 8 is better than 40. I only asked for 40 because it's what the law says for everybody else. So I just want to be paid the same as a teenager at Burger King. But over 8 is even better. You could get overtime every day. Cabinets are cool. I love them. In the corporate world, you'll be reminded constantly that you can be replaced by someone younger and cheaper on a 1099. Texas Trader, that can happen here in trucking too. Everybody can be replaced at any moment. Nobody's irresponsible. Some people are irresponsible. Nobody's irreplaceable. Nobody's essential or whatever. Please. They did that just to get people to go work at the gas station. Oh, I'm essential. I sell Slurpees. I don't think so. Okay, so nobody is like that, though. Everybody can be replaced. Talking about you should pay me for my nonsense. Some people just should get paid for that. They're what we would call an expert. I just cut my sheets into strips. I'm ready to desist. Next accident, I'm going to jump on and start tying people up. Cash is king. Yeah, that's good. I see a restraining order in your future. I just showed up. And what registering are you talking about? Joe. Joe's here. What's going on, Joe? The Drug and Alcohol Clearinghouse, which I don't have the website, but you can just type it in. Say you want to register for the Drug and Alcohol Clearinghouse. You have to be registered by tomorrow. If you haven't registered for it yet, this is the end of a 1-year period to register. Your company should have been telling you about it, but apparently didn't. So you need to register because your company has to do a check on you every year in that. And if you're your own company, you actually have to check on yourself. So either way, there's going to be a check done. You have to be registered. All CDL drivers have to be registered in it. Go to the Drug and Alcohol Clearinghouse, and there should be a click right there, register. It only takes a couple minutes. Drivers are in danger of being replaced. Test another development of self-driving. That's a long time to replace me with a self-driving truck. That's decades before any large number of drivers are replaced by that. And local drivers will be the last ones replaced. My goal on certain routes is to come in under 8 hours so I can play with my guitars and motorcycle. Misty, yeah. Look, no more than an 8-hour day, personally, I think, for me. Beyond that, I'm taking too much of my day up. You know, once we get 9, 10 hours, and I'm like, oh, then I get tired. And then 13, there are people that work 14 hours a day here every single day. I'm like, holy mackerel, that is a long day. You don't have any time. By the time you get home, you just sleep and get up and go to work. That's not worth it. The money isn't worth it. That Murray, you can be replaced. Yes. Stocking roller wieners is essential, but anybody can do it. What I'm saying is that it's not like any job that I can train you to do in 5 minutes, you're not that essential. Are lot lizards considered essential workers? Asking for a friend? Yes. In some cities they are. Do they still sell cab over, Stephen? Not in the United States that I know of, unless you get a used one. I think the Argosy was the last new one. Drug tests are a scam. You don't get any drug tests, just pee in a cup. You don't get to test drugs, just pee. That's all they get to do. Tommy Cash, funny, in the Amazon Bomb Parkway in the area, they put up a sign, $5,000 fine for littering. That's funny. Must be only in the day because there are no lights there. Can't see anything. I don't know if they can enforce that or not. I mean, I can't just put up a sign at my house. If you step on the grass, $3,000 fine. I can't fine you for that. That's not some kind of law. I haven't seen a lot lizard in years, Misty. I know. I mean, I don't know where people see them. I do know Cash King did a video with someone who was just asking for money. But I haven't seen one either. They're just not around. You don't hear them on the CB like you used to. In the early 90s, basically, they were a lot more prevalent. I'd get knocks on the door sometimes at night. But not anymore. You just don't hear about it. Maybe they've gone to lot lizards. I don't know. I think only Scania makes cab overs. No, I see a lot of them in Europe. I see a lot of them. Alan Benedict, in California, mining companies pay local drivers overtime after 8. DT after 14. This will be my next gig. That's pretty good. Overtime after 8, right, I'm in. That's a good job. When you can get hourly plus overtime after 8 and paid on your ELD, you got it going on then. Then, you're paid for all your time. Wouldn't you feel better about that? Hooking up trucks and I get paid, right. Most likely if they did pay me 26 plus overtime, they would cut me to 2 trips a week, which would be fine with you. Then you wouldn't have to work as much. A 14-hour day, 67-hour week or whatever, it's almost 14 hours a day. That's a long week. It's not for me. Because those days when you're younger, when you're extreme upper 20s and that, you don't get those days back. And so you realize, oh man, I wasted a lot of time. For what? For some money? Back over here in Texas now, very windy. Jonathan, all right, well, thanks for being here anyway. Not bad here today. The Who have been trying to figure out that for years. Bidding in San Francisco at liquidation auction. Oh, really? They have some there? If they have robots replace drivers, who will toss out the bottles? There'll be bottles full of, metal shavings, which would be actually kind of funny. Misty, I think I was a lot lizard. I should have seen the look on his face when I told him I'd break his fingers one by one if he touched you. I always wondered that about women. If you, if you're walking in a truck stop or whatever by yourself, do people think that just about every woman that's walking around? And that must be a horrible way to walk around a truck stop, really. And it's hard enough, right? Because I just was reading today, only 6% of drivers are women. So, and this is why. In Europe, cabovers is the way to go. No Euro truck brand makes any conventionals. They're all cabovers, right? What do you call a lot lizard carrying a mattress? An owner-operator. Very good. That's good. A lot of lot lizards migrated to the East Coast. Why? Why the East Coast? There's nowhere to park. Samuel's been around for 10 years and been to Van Horn once. Only thing I remember, the movie Three Bears was filmed there with Tommy Lee Jones. Did they have a plaque about that or something? You don't remember the burritos? You see some Scanias, but they start out as cabovers, are custom built in a conventional by a coach builder. Oh, wow. Like an old Rolls Royce or something? Coach built vehicle? Nice. Are lot lizards in Chicago paid on 1099? Yes. Just like everybody else in the Chicagoland area, right? 90% of people there are paid 1099. My job is mandatory 60-hour work weeks, and I have no say. Well, Bill, that's true. You do have one say, though. You can say, I'm not working here. Always the place that we are is because of the choices we make, right? But you wouldn't leave because you love it there. California, and now you get that new truck. California is so messed up, it's going bust. That is true. Al Johns is heading out, probably to service his pool. Have an awesome, safe day. Cat sheets. That'd be great if you had ones with cats on them. That'd be pretty good. The one in the truck is just blue because that's just what I happen to have laying around. I thought, you know what, I got the sleeper. I bet there's going to be days when the weather's bad or whatever. I'm going to put some sheets and a pillow in it so that I don't have to hit a motel, because they'll do that here. If you can't drive for whatever reason or whatever, they'll motel you or whatever. They don't want you driving around the bad weather if you think it's unsafe. But I thought, I got a sleeper, I have an APU, and a bunk heater. So let's make use of it. I usually get a couple motel nights a year. Last year was pretty mild. I didn't get any, so I'm running out of pens. That's how I collect all my pens. I steal them all out of the room. Yeah, yikes. Yes, you can deduct those as a business expense. You need Hello Kitty sheets, Misty. That makes you, if they had cats on them, it's one thing. If I had Hello Kitty sheets, that kind of makes you look a little creepy. Because we were at Holiday World a few years ago. It's been a number of years. And I don't know, the wife went off with her kids somewhere. And so but I was sitting by the pool there and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I'm a creepy weirdo here. So I actually had to leave and went in the shop or whatever, because I thought, oh, here's some dude just sitting at the pool, because I forgot for a minute, oh, I'm by myself here. And then I thought, oh, well, this is going to be bad. I'm going to be arrested in 5 minutes. So you kind of can't, you got to watch the sheets you put in there. Alexandra's PJs with cats on them. I think I would like that too, right? California's going bust. I have a mask with a cat on it, which everybody asks me about. It's going bust, but you'll be paying for it. Yeah, of course. States can't ever go broke, right? If you put a roller in the bunk and run the bunk heater, you become one with the roller wiener. Look, I think you could cook one on that thing. It comes out of there super hot. You're still using the pens you picked up at Matt's 2 years ago? Nice. You probably don't have to sign as many things as most people. I always grab a few out of the motel. and or all of them out of the motel that I can get. And then I used those, but I didn't get any motels last winter. Friend has Spider-Man sheets in the truck. That wouldn't be too bad, I guess, if you're into those kind of things. I never got into the comic Marvel kind of things or whatever these. As soon as I say Marvel, oh, Mark, it's this other kind or whatever. But I don't know anything about that. A lot of lizards made good security guards. Want to know you're not interested. Let others know. Really? So there's like a code of conduct. I mean, if that's true, that'd be great. I'd go find one and say, hey, I'm not interested. And then they could tell all the other ones. The worst place for them was always the Michigan rest areas for some reason. Could never get a good night's sleep in the Michigan rest area, but it hasn't been a problem. That ended a long time ago. While Bill does the X thing, oh, right, he just X's it. Yeah, I don't think he has to sign as much as most other. Considering all the loads that he has every day, he has to really sign surprisingly little. If we all got had to pick up and drop off that many loads, I mean, it would be really something. You'd run out of pens pretty quickly. For somebody that's on yard move as much as that, I would say. Sheets with butterflies, that'll be all right too. You should maybe get ones, and let the DOT look at them and something. The hotels I stay in don't have free pens, Cash is King. That's what I was thinking. When we stayed last night, I actually told my wife that. I go, I bet Cash is King Trucking would never stay here at this place. So that was pretty funny. I actually thought about that, checking in. So if you get paid by the hour but no overtime, are you still better off than paid by the mile? I think you're better off paid by the hour just because you're going to get paid for all of your time. The mile, like up here, you can get stuck in bad weather or you could get stuck anywhere in traffic. And so if you're paid by the mile, you might not get any miles. If you're paid by the hour, you still get all of your time paid. While you're doing your paperwork, while you're dropping and hooking, all that is paid. Delivering a trailer, everything is paid. So I like the hourly the best idea. And I think the 10 times 24 hours a day for road drivers is a great idea. I always see lot lizards and they still knock on your door in Houston. Really? So they all went to Houston, I guess, for the weather. I always carried 3 sets of sheets in my truck so I could change them weekly. Misty. Oh, well, yeah, women probably do that. I had the same set of sheets in the truck for I don't know how long. They would get done whenever I thought about it with laundry. But, yeah, I don't know about that. I don't think guys change their sheets as often as that. Any companies on death watch? Well, Roadrunner is still only 206. Even through all this, their stock never went anywhere. But all the stocks went down this week, though. Yellow went down to 425 and PAM's down, 48.91. So stocks didn't do great. I still think Roadrunner, I can't believe they're still around. I just can't. They must have gotten a bunch of PPP money. And I don't know that's a fact, but that's what I think. One more question before you have to go, and I will be leaving here as well. Play in the snow. Does anyone encounter a driver that's going slow when you're passing? They speed up. It happens to you constantly. But I'm governed at 87. Nice. That's got to be rare. It happens to me all the time because I'm governed at 65. So at night, coming back at night, it's late. Drivers get tired. You're coming up on somebody going 56, 57. You go to pass them. And when you're even with them, then they're like, oh, I just got to wake up now. And then they take off. The worst one are when they speed up to 65 and you're stuck there like a doofus head in the left lane. Idiots. No burritos for you. You're paid by the mile. See, that's the other thing. It makes you work more. You do too much free work. You're more stressed. Hourly, there's not a lot of stress in it. Well, Bill, the forced overtime has pushed you into 25% tax bracket that I don't like or want. Well, welcome to the rich life over there. You're already in the 25% tax bracket, considering where you live, right? First thing to go when I buy a truck is the mattress. And if you get a new truck on the road, unless the truck's brand new, I think the company should provide you a new mattress in the truck, certainly, if you're going to sleep in it. My sheets are crusted to my mattress. What does that mean? I haven't thought about changing them in decades. Yikes. That's what I'm saying. Clean sheets and PJs make sleeping on the road feel normal. Misty, right? I'm just saying that guys probably change their sheets less than women do on the road, I would say. I mean, I don't know when they'd get changed at home. If I wasn't married, I think it'd be a long time before the sheets got changed, before they get changed here. They always get cleaned here now, but I think I'd probably leave them on there. When I lived, the bachelor life many, many years ago, I don't know if those sheets ever got changed. 2 Wookiees and a pancake. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Have a great day and a great 2021. I hope that for everybody. Thank you. James, no, wife is from the Philippines. Thought I had a girlfriend at every truck stop. The cashier would always call you honey. Oh, yeah, right. What were you talking? Oh, because you're inside talking on the phone, because it's required, of course. Cash King will eventually just get a new truck and I'll have whatever mattress is in it. The Hool says get in the baller tax bracket at 51%. That'd be great. With all that car collection you have, you should be. It's pronounced 2021. Oh, is that how we're doing it? 2021 is a legal drinking age now. Should be interesting. Oh, right. Yeah, it can tell me how it is. Never had a beer, as I always say here. Never had anything to drink. Sad, I guess. People always think that's weird. Remember, if you wear it, you should always make it a parrot. That's the official headset of Trucking Answers, which they don't know, I guess, but that's what I'm going to say anyways. GP Transco is here today, and I want to thank them for coming in. There's some trucks that are teal, although the truck color is not guaranteed. They're still always looking for a few good drivers. Is that you? It might be. Great Plains Transport is looking for drivers, and they give you groceries to get you started. How about that? Salary pay over there. That's what I like. That's my next choice. Schuster, they're going to give another raise on January 15th. I'm going to have to put a new slide up here when I figure out what that is. So, Schuster, hauling food, of course. People got to eat. Same with Dot, right? Food, people have to eat. These are companies that people have gone to that have told me these are great places to work. Great places to work. Never hear a bad word about these places. High pay, treated with respect, excellent equipment. That's why I put them on here. Nobody pays me for this, just so people know. Mark, they give you money. They do not give me money. Nobody gives me money for any of this stuff. I refuse to take money from a trucking company. So, and Fleet Nav Systems was here today. The Geotab experts, they'll be live again soon. Thank you for being here. Cash King Trucking was here. The home of the $1,680 a week salary pay. He's live constantly. You should check him out. And don't forget about Jay. Jay's live on Tuesdays and live during the day. It's the car shipping business channel, Auto Transport Intel. I don't know anything about car hauling, okay, but Jay does. And that's the place to go for car hauling info, which rhymes. Oh, you can use that, Jay. He's not watching. Somebody tell him he can use it. Because I'm working when the show is on. That's great. George Wilson, great show. Be safe on your shuttle run tonight. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Light bars are scaring away the lot lizards. That's disappointing. Burning their eyes out. I noticed that last night. Coming back because it was dark. We were coming back in the dark. Everybody's putting in these stupid LEDs in their car for $3 from China. And all these light bars. Come on, people. Oh, I'm like, I can't see anything. Oh, I'll just put LEDs. You can't. The projectors are wrong in your car. You got to change the whole thing. I'm going to hang around and be the last one today. Wow, Bill, I appreciate it. Be safe. I love you long time. Thank you, Misty. Thank you very much. Same to you. My truck is cleaner than most. Always take my shoes off when getting in the sleeper. I agree, usually. But I eat on the bed unless I'm filming a video. While I was on the road, they have that little pull-out table, which I like. You can have like a little meal there. I put a little candle there or whatever. It was pretty good. Christina, great show. Thank you. Another great show. Thank you for being here. That's what makes the show great is all of you, not me, certainly. Be safe, Mark. See you on the rant. Texas Trader. There'll be more videos this week. Highway Freak. Any companies will hire go with 3 small preventables asking for a friend? There are. You may have to head west, though. And the express lane. Get it? I have the Rainbow Cat sheets and comforter. Oh, that'd be good. Roller Wiener Monday is cheaper than therapist. Thank you. I should charge therapy prices. Gear Jammer here. Why does a truck driver need an ink pen? Only to sign the bill of lading. That's true, and no one has one. No one has one. Or you have to sign that form whenever you go in anywhere. I go into half the place I go in. Oh, here, fill out this form. Have you been in COVID land or whatever? You got to sign that stupid form. Then you need a pen for that. Nothing good comes out of Texas. Texas, everything's bigger in Texas, I thought. Have to sit and wait for an appointment at 5. Nice. It's 1:30. Look, you should get paid for that. This is another thing, Jay Clemens, right? This is one of the things. If you're paid hourly, this wouldn't be a problem, right? So this is, and if you are, then it's not a problem. But for other people, this is the thing. If you're waiting there, you should get paid. It's not your fault. The company can either have you come back and send somebody else or pay you to sit there. That's all I'm asking for people is to get paid for their time. Alexandra, take care, Mark. Well, thank you for that, and thank you for being here. And when you hear more about the Rays over there, let me know, because I'd like to update the thing so people can know. Send company branded pens with drivers. Great marketing. Yeah, we don't have any. There's no pens, so I can't get a company branded pen. I'm lucky when I get a hat, which I don't have at the moment. From my own place. So Schuster Trucking was here. Thank you for being here, but I do have to head out and go do some work for them anyways. They still demand you come in. Joe, what's going on? Thank you for being here. 2 Wookiees and a Pancake, one of the greatest names on YouTube, which I love. Thanks for coming in today. Dave Johnson. Any companies on Death Watch? You know, it's still Roadrunner. Thanks for being here. Dan Priss was here. Columbia George was here. I appreciate it. Oh, Marty was here. Thank you for being here. Trucking Journeys was here. I hope to hear from you again about that. James Null was here. Let's see here. Oh, Donkey Bite, right? I love that. Donkey Bite. Al Johns, thank you for being here. Roger Penske is recuperating. Thanks for coming in. The Hool. Samuel Edward. Philip Trucker was here. That is awesome, too. Captain Flatbed. Jonathan Diaz. Look, Alan Benedict, thank you for a great 2020, and everyone for looking forward to 2021 here. I can't do this without you. This isn't me. This is your show. I don't run ads on this show or anything. It's the live show. It's done every Monday at 12:30, and I appreciate everybody being here. Believe me. Tommy Cash, thanks for being here. Daycab Gear Jammer was here, but I have to head out and do stuff for my company, or they yell at you when you don't come in. It's crazy. It's crazy what they do that. I don't like it. But they make you do it anyways. So I want to thank everybody for being here. The show will run every Monday. There'll be more videos this week. Send suggestions or whatever else you might have in. And be safe out there otherwise. And we will see you soon out there.